Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E. Are you one of those people that likes a little behind-the-scenes gossip? Well, here you go. Our floor manager just did a little jig before we came live to air. And I just want to say on behalf of everybody, we appreciated it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is literally a transformative show because it's going to transform your way of sleeping and, in many cases, make it an awful lot better. We have a very specialised type of bedding for you in this show. And if you've never heard of Mulberry Silk before or seen it, or if you know nothing about it, you're in for a treat. So do yourselves a favour, gift yourselves 20 minutes to just have a little look and listen to what we're presenting, because it very well could be the best 20 minutes of your lives. Maybe not the best, but it will lead to many very, very good nights. You're going to sleep very well, and the rest I leave to your imagination. Now, here to tell us all about it is the man behind the official Mulberry Silk manufacturing company and its exclusive distributor in the United Kingdom,
Yes.
the one and only Ray Kennedy. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you? Okay.
I'm doing all right. Oh, I'm always good when I'm with you.
Thank you, Rob. It's nice of you to say so, and I'm glad that you pointed out right at the beginning of the show, everything we have on offer this morning is made by the official Mulberry Silk Company.
Yes.
Everything we are offering is 100% pure AAA grade Mulberry silk. There are no inferior fibres mixed in with it. We are asking you to buy it and try it. If you don't like it, we will instantly refund your money. So you have a chance to get a really high quality product at an affordable price, backed up with a 10-year guarantee.
How long?
That's a long time, Rob.
A
10
decade?
years. Now, the duvets we have in my bed at home, Rob, are 37 years old. Now, there might be one or two viewers watching and think, well, surely not.
Aren't they a bit dirty?
Well, we wash them on average.
But that was the point. You can wash them.
You wash them. We can wash these as often as you want. We wash ours on average 3 or 4 times a year. You wash them, a cold wash, 30 degrees. You can either tumble dry or line dry. The largest one we make is a Super King, and it will fit in any standard UK machine. Now, although we guarantee them for 10 years, we expect and we believe that once you bought this duvet, it will last you the best part of your adult life. Keeps you warm in the winter, cool in the summer, machine washable, 10-year warranty, money-back guarantee. It's something special on offer this morning from Shop on TV.
Now, I want to tell you something that I just heard, literally just heard while you were talking from my director. This is interesting because you know everyone who works for Shop on TV, anyone who's ever worked with you or met you or come near you, now sleeps under Mulberry Silk duvets and on Mulberry Silk pillows. So Paul, our director, got a Mulberry Silk duvet for, was it your parents, wasn't it?
His mum and dad.
For his mum and dad.
And a mattress. And
and all of it.
all of it, the whole shooting match.
Now, it's not Paul who's going around trying to convince everyone. Now, they have convinced all their family and friends to also go and get Mulberry. 8 members of their family.
Rob, it's interesting you mention that.
Yeah.
We exhibit at every major exhibition in the United Kingdom. We have done for the last 67 years. When I go to an exhibition, I ask the organizer, I insist I must have the same stand in exactly the same location every year. So the public know exactly where to find me. Because 35%, maybe even 40% of all the sales that we get on any given day at an exhibition are from recommendations.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Very often, Rob, people buy, say, a pillow.
Yeah.
Right? Sleep on it for 5-6 months and they think, well, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they find us maybe at the same exhibition the next year, they'll buy a duvet or they'll buy a mattress or whatever. Our products are very high quality and we back them up with a no-nonsense, bulletproof money-back guarantee. This duvet will keep you warm in the winter, really warm, you know, and it will keep you cool in the summer. And what Rob has just said is an absolute fact. Very often, I go to different countries selling this product, and very often when I go into a studio for the first time, within a couple of weeks, one of the presenters or the cameramen, they'll buy one of our products, and within 6 months, they've recommended it to the whole of the studio. And every studio I go to, 99% of the people within that studio all sleep under Mulberry Silk. They might talk about other bedding products, but I promise you, this is the one they buy, including the man who owns this shopping channel. When we moved here 17, 18 months ago, he spent nearly £3,000 buying our products because he'd been told about them by
me, incidentally.
Rob, yes. Thank you very much, Rob. And there you go.
Are they really that good? That's my impression of it.
No, a lovely angle, Rob.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Ray, sorry, that was a bit Ray Winston, actually. That's not what Jamie sounds like at all.
Yeah, bit aggressive.
But what I think we need to point out here is that the Mulberry Silk bedding, it's kind of got a special ingredient. It doesn't do what regular duvets and pillows do. It's not made the way that regular pillows and duvets are made. And this is a story that is the point of difference, really. Because what is stopping you from having a good night's sleep, a proper night's sleep, is actually more than likely what you're sleeping under or with your head on. If you have a duvet or a pillow that has any kind of feather in it, doesn't matter how fancy or nice or posh they've made it sound, if it's a kind of feather, or if it is synthetic, if it's hollow fibre, that kind of thing, and if there's any polyester involved, or again, any synthetic materials at all, I guarantee you that the chances are you will not be sleeping as well as you could. And the evidence for that is because of it's heat predominantly, isn't it? Do explain, sir.
Right, Rob. For 200 days of every year, for the last 37 years, you'll find me at an exhibition selling silk duvets. People come up to our stand and they talk to me and they tell me their likes and their dislikes. So I have a fair idea of what people like and don't like as far as bedding is concerned, because I've been doing it so long, for 200 days every year.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest problem people have, in my opinion, trying to get a good night's sleep is they overheat in bed, Rob.
Yeah.
They get too hot.
Yeah.
Not too cold.
No, too
hot. They're waking up in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, backside sticking out the duvet, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Now they're awake when they should be asleep. And one of the main reasons, perhaps not the only reason, but one of the main reasons, Rob, they're too hot. Now, silk wicks away moisture. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. If any viewer watching perhaps thinks I'm exaggerating, go into Google or Wikipedia for your own peace of mind. Type in all about silk, and they will tell you silk wicks away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So if you share a bed with somebody who overheats in bed, this is the duvet for you. Any lady going through the menopause, hot and cold sweats, don't think twice. Instantly buy yourself a silk duvet. Please buy yourself
But also,
one.
it's, the moisture wicking is great because if you do sweat, then you're not going to get wet or clammy. But it's the temperature regulation.
Yeah.
Silk, you don't underheat. You don't overheat under silk.
Well,
only today, Ray.
The reason for that, Rob, silk is a low conductor of heat. It produces heat in a different fashion to say duck, goose, feather,
or
polyester,
down or whatever.
But I'm struggling for the exact correct word. It's not a ferocious heat. It's a gentle heat.
It's the Goldilocks.
Fiber.
It's the Goldilocks. It's just right.
It's a cocoon fiber.
Yeah.
It's made to gently fold itself around you, and it sits. Anything that sleeps within it or under it, you will be cocooned.
Yes.
You won't waken up. The duvet doesn't walk in the middle of the night.
And it's so the way it wraps around you, it's so luxurious. But Ray, I wanted to, I know that you're always very keen to be filled in on what I did in bed last night.
Right, Rob.
So,
Fascinated.
Latest news.
Yeah.
No, honestly, maybe I just need to get out more, but I have an overactive brain, and it takes a while to shut my brain down. And as soon as I wake up, that's it,
You're off and running.
I'm off and running. And I was lying in bed, and I do this a lot, because it was particularly cold last night, and it was particularly cold this morning. But I didn't know that because I was literally kind of half sitting up in bed with my Mulberry Silk Duvet all the way over me, and I was just, me in my boxer shorts, so I don't wear pyjamas or anything like that, and I was thinking to myself, and I noticed this, it sort of stands out. I was the perfect temperature. And I'd been in that position for hours. I mean, I had not moved, the bedding had not moved, I had not taken the duvet off, I had not pulled it back on, to sort of regulate my own temperature. The duvet had done it for me. And then I kind of go, do you know what, I haven't even got a clue what the temperature is like in the room. So then I take the duvet off and it's like,
cold. Yeah. So, as you know,
mic, please.
We are a Canadian company. And I sell these. I go 6 times every year to Canada to sell these on the shopping channel.
Yeah.
Now, when you get up to places like Quebec in the winter, it's minus 25. And when you add the wind chill factor in, it's horrific. Now, we've been selling these on television in Canada for 30-odd years, and people find them perfectly comfortable to sleep under in that type of temperature.
Yeah.
People who go mountaineering, Rob, what I call the big boys mountains, K2, Mount Everest, 29,000 feet up in the air. It's very cold up there.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Well, you'll find everything they're wearing is lined with silk. That's a fact. Their tents are lined with silk. Their sleeping bags are lined with silk. Within the bedding industry, silk is known as the great insulator. That's what it does, it insulates you.
Yeah.
But it has the incredible ability to reverse in the summer. Warm in the winter and cool in the summer. People very often say to me, how is that possible?
How is that possible?
Rob, I don't know. There's only one person knows, Mother Nature.
Do you have a number?
She's had, listen, I wish I did. She's had the secret
single?
under lock and key for 5,000 years. But when you buy this, it's an all-weather duvet. You don't need one for the winter and one for the summer.
No.
It's the same duvet, winter and summer. And I love self-regulates.
Yeah, because the first thing people always say when they see or touch a Mulberry Silk Duvet is, it's very thin. That's no way going to keep me warm. But believe me, it does. Actually, I wanted to say something. I don't know if you know this about me. I am fascinated by Mount Everest.
Really?
I mean, I've watched every documentary you could think. If I find a documentary I haven't seen, I watch it immediately. And even the film was decent. But there's one thing that a lot of people don't necessarily think about when it comes to Everest. Now, it is a little bit morbid, but I'm going to... Well, they're going to cut off me. No, I'm going to say it because I think it's important. This is with utmost respect. But there are a lot of people who have climbed Mount Everest
and don't come back down.
And not returned. Yeah,
they're still up there.
They're still up there, and they keep them up there out of respect. It's like a shrine.
Absolutely right.
But they actually found, was it Hillary, the original person who went up Mount Everest, who'd been lost.
Edmund Hillary.
Yeah, for many.
Sherpa Tenzing.
Yes, so Edmund Hillary, they haven't been able to find.
In the 50s.
Yeah, for years and years and years and years, and they found him recently. They found his remains recently. Still pretty well preserved, and this is the point I'm trying to make here, is that in latter years when silk clothing has been used, there's one particular marker when you climb Everest, and there's a name for this particular person. There are several, but and their silk clothing, their silk jackets and things like that, have stood the test of decades.
Well,
on Mount Everest.
Silk is the second strongest natural fibre in the world.
Yes.
This surprises people when I say this. Up until about 15 or 20 years ago, believe it or believe it not, bulletproof vests were lined with silk. If you had 15 or 16 layers of silk, you couldn't put a bullet through it.
Right.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
If you had a pound
Don't try
of
that with your duvet.
Rob, if you had a pound of steel in this hand
Yeah.
and a pound of silk in weight in this hand, the tensile strength of the silk is stronger than steel.
Yeah.
So when you buy one of these duvets, hopefully, well, I hope you do buy one because you'll be delighted when you buy it. When you buy one this morning and you have it delivered and you sleep under it, please consider it to be an investment.
Yes.
You're not going to have to buy another one in 6, 7, 8 months' time or a couple of years' time. This is a top quality product. There's only 2 parts to this duvet, Rob. The top cover, which is Egyptian cotton, long fibre Egyptian cotton. Come to that in a second. 230 thread count. Anything over 180 thread count is considered to be luxury.
Yeah.
Now we're using long fibre cotton.
What's the difference?
The difference is simple. If you pick cotton by hand, if you use a machine to pick cotton,
Which is probably
a
most
mechanical
cotton.
device,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Cotton becomes stressed and it breaks and you get short fibre cotton. If you pick it by hand, it's a much more gentle process. It doesn't break.
Right.
And you get long fibre cotton. Now the difference is quite simple. Long fibre cotton is softer to touch. Ironically, although it's softer, it's more luxurious. It can be woven in a slightly different way, so it lasts longer. It washes better. It just feels wonderful when you sleep under it. So that's the top cover. Now the filling within the top cover is AAA grade mulberry silk. Nothing else. Only AAA grade mulberry silk. There are no inferior fibers mixed in with it. When you're buying silk, please read the small print on the label. An awful lot of companies, what they do, they get cotton or polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk, Rob. Now, to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. So what they do, they say they put 20% silk into a duvet, 80% polyester, and put a silk label on it. It's not very nice, actually.
Do you know what, Ray?
So they get a higher profit.
There is a word, and I'm allowed to say this because I suppose technically I'm involved in the business.
Yeah.
But there's a word for the industry that makes rubbish sound like it's good. It's called marketing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, do you know, I've got to tell you, you may not have heard this story. There's a moisturiser, a beauty product, that on their marketing, it was billed as...
I'm laughing, Rob. You and I could do with a beauty product between us.
Tell me about it. Award-winning. It did, and it was award-winning. It won an award. Do you know what it won the award for?
Packaging.
The worst moisturiser available to buy.
Well,
True story.
You know, in Britain...
True story.
In Britain, only in Britain,
Yeah.
you can call a duvet or anything else silk as long as it has 10% silk in it.
Right.
10%.
Yeah.
And that, they get away with that, you know. I saw another TV channel selling duvets a few months back, 9 months ago, 12 months ago. There was only 20% silk in them, but they forgot to tell the people
And
that.
I bet it wasn't full-length fibre either.
No,
I bet it was
it wasn't.
offcuts, cheap.
So basically, you have the top quality silk, top quality cotton. We've given it to people, a company who have a stellar reputation for making high quality products. We've backed it up, as I keep mentioning, with a 10-year, absolutely bulletproof money-back guarantee. You cannot, under any conditions, take a chance when you buy this. We're simply asking you to try it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, don't keep it.
Well, and this is the thing. You know, we could sit here and say this cures all known diseases. Fact. And you could go, all right then, but if we've given you a money-back guarantee, you could try it and see if it does cure all known diseases. And if it doesn't, you get your money back. So we'd be wasting our time. Because eventually you'd send it back, wouldn't you? Now, obviously, we're not saying that it can cure all known diseases. However, we are saying that it can potentially cure one of the greatest... ailments is not the right word. One of the greatest problems that most people have with their day-to-day life, and that is they don't get a good night's sleep. But that is a health-related issue as well, because you need to sleep and you need a good night's sleep in order to function properly. And have you ever woken up and you may have slept for hours, maybe for your prescribed number or beyond your prescribed number of hours, and you've gone, oh, I'm still tired, I must have slept funny. Well, no, you didn't. There's nothing funny about not sleeping properly. You didn't wake up laughing, did you? I'm going to keep that, thank you, Paul. You woke up, your sleep was interrupted throughout the night because of your bedding, because of your duvet, because you were too hot or too cold or a mixture of the both, all the things that we're talking about. And so that's what there's a name for that. It's literally called, in the sleep business, it's called toxic sleep. And the cure for it is one of these duvets and one of these pillows. And if you want to stretch to a mattress or a mattress pad, go the whole hog, sleep on it as well as have it above you. That's what I've done. That's what I'd recommend. But you do what you can afford. If you don't believe any of what we're saying, the money-back guarantee means you can you can put our money where your mouth is. Is that right? Because you'll get your money back. If you're not happy.
And you get it back quickly.
And you can't do very quickly. And you can't do that. You cannot buy any pillow or duvet that we know of that you can get your money back
you
on.
mention that. When you buy bedding products, if you don't like them, tough
You're
out.
Stuck with them.
You take them back. Say you buy them in a supermarket, some pillows. You see them 2 for £10.
Yeah.
You buy them on impulse, and you take them and you try to sleep under them, and you think, no, I don't like these. I'll take them back. They refuse to take them. They say, look, under the Health and Hygiene Act, they've been slept on.
Yeah.
No. Every year in Britain, Rob, 5 million duvets end up in landfill.
Every year?
5 million. In my local supermarket, 6 or 7 weeks ago, I do the shopping for our house because my wife's not particularly well. She can't go shopping anymore, so I do it. So I'm in and out the supermarket twice a week, maybe 3 times. And I always look at the bedding rack, just out of curiosity. Do you know, Rob, they were selling duvets. Now, this is a fact. $7.99 each, £8.
Oh, they must have been good quality.
Can you imagine trying to wash them?
Oh, well, it would cost you 30 quid to dry clean it, if you could even be bothered.
Wash them. Now, £8, people buy them. I can't understand why. The interesting thing is, in my point of view, the companies who make these duvets, well, they should be ashamed of themselves.
They're not making them for you to sleep under. They're making them just to get your money off you, aren't they, really?
100%, Rob.
Yeah.
It's just a case of people buy them on impulse. They think, oh, it's a bargain, I'll try it. 5 million every year. Check that figure on Google. End up in landfill.
And you'll buy another, because also the thing is, particularly with hollow fibre, because you sweat a lot, so the sweat becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and dust mites. After 3 years, as much as half the weight of your duvet or pillow could be dust mites and their droppings and the carcasses of their dead relatives. Whereas, this actually, we can do something about that with this, can't we?
It's interesting you mentioned dust
It's almost
mites.
as if I did it deliberately, Ray.
Rob, it's interesting you mentioned this duvet has been awarded the official Allergy Board seal of approval.
Yes.
To the best of my knowledge, and I'm sure I'm correct, it's the only silk duvet currently being sold anywhere in the United Kingdom that has this coveted certificate. I have a copy here in my hand. Now, this certificate is issued for 1 year at a time. The Allergy Board in the United Kingdom are based in Warwick University, and they're very clever people. They issue this for 1 year at a time. They call into our premises unannounced. They just walk in and check to make sure our standards don't drop. If our standards drop, this is taken away overnight, and that's a terrible black mark against our company. We have this certificate for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, New Zealand, and Australia. Now, the reason I mention that to the viewer, what satisfies the authorities here in Canada will not satisfy the authorities very often in, say, Denmark or Holland or Australia or Italy. But on this occasion, Rob, the quality of the product is so high and the manufacturing process is so perfect, they can find no fault. I would go so far as to say, when you see any product, not only our product, any product with this certificate attached to it, you can buy it in the knowledge it's something special. And this duvet, I can assure you, is something special. It's not an ordinary duvet. You can buy ordinary duvets in any shop in Britain, $7.99 each.
Yeah.
This is something special. Buy it and try it.
This is a magic duvet. That's the way I think of it. It's not really, but we should probably tell you, I mean, the prices are popping, sort of rotating on your screen. But just so you know, here's a rundown of all of the prices. And you know that old expression that you buy cheap, you pay twice? Well, yes, these are not £7.99 each. They're not your cheapo hollow fibre 30 quid jobbies. They are a little more. Now, our prices are actually lower than they were when these were launched 20 years ago. In fact, the usual prices were their launch prices 20 years ago, was it, Ray?
Well, it's interesting,
like that.
Yeah, Rob. We're actually offering these duvets this morning at a price, Rob is correct, slightly less than we were charging for it 22 years ago.
22 years
when
ago.
we first launched them in television in Britain. The quality has stayed the same, it hasn't dropped, and the price has come down roughly 5%.
Let me go through those. So our price for the single is £139. Now, if you base that on the 10-year guarantee alone, you know, if these vanished into literally in a puff of smoke in 10 years, and that's all you got, it works out at, hang on, 4 pence a day. 4 pence a day. The double, 179, that works out at 5 pence a day. By the way, if you want the hotel drape, get the double for your single beds and well, not vice versa actually, but as you go up, if you get the king, for example, which is £199, that's 6 pence a day. Get that for the double bed, you get that lovely drape. That's what I've got in my room in Warrington, for where I stay when I'm up working on Shop on TV. And then the Super King, which is what I've got back at home, because I've got a Super King bed. And by the way, you do get plenty of drape. There is plenty of drape. There's a good sort of, foot of drape either side, I believe, on my Super King bed, and they're £2.19, and that works out at 7 pence a day. So if you want to upgrade and have a little that hotel drape, or maybe you've got king duvets and you've decided I want something. I want to get the extra special Super King. This is your price of entry to join the very exclusive Mulberry Silk Club. They're all available on PayPal Pay in 3. I believe I'm right in saying that all of the Mulberry Silk products are £4.95 P&P, and bear in mind that is capped. So you only pay, you could literally have 28 duvets, 16 pillows, 49 of the pillowcases, and that you'd only pay £4.95 postage for the whole lot. The only one that's more is the mattress, and that's a tenner.
And everything goes out next day delivery.
Yes.
24-hour delivery by DPD.
Extraordinary. So today we are Saturday. So Monday morning.
It's a Sunday, isn't it?
Oh no, sorry, it's technically Sunday. You're right, isn't it? So they'll go out Monday.
They'll go out Monday morning.
Monday morning. So you should have them Tuesday.
Yeah, you will have them Tuesday.
You will be sleeping under your Mulberry Silk by Tuesday. Let's move on to the pillow, shall we? I always think of this as a gateway product. So if you're just too sceptical to allow yourself to believe everything we've said about the duvets, and before you plonk your money down and make the best decision that you've ever made when it comes to bedding, in my opinion, get a pillow first. 40 quid. You're taking a punt. It'll either be rubbish or it'll be amazing. And if it's rubbish, you can get your money back. The only thing it's cost you is £4.95 P&P. However, I can tell you for a fact that people would have to grab this or wrench it from your cold, dead fingers once you've slept on it for a few nights,
it's a special
because
pillow.
it really is a special pillow,
You know, Rob, I mentioned earlier, every year, 5 million duvets go into landfill.
Yes.
Now, this will shock you what I'm going to tell you. With pillows, it's not 5 million. It's minimum 10 million.
Wow.
Every single year, right? Now, people are, once again, probably in the supermarket, they're walking along, they see 2 pillows, £10, as you say, in the shopping trolley, on impulse, get them home. What are they? They just throw them away after a couple of months.
Yeah.
The average lady with a husband, this will shock you, and 2 children, if they live their normal lifespan, will buy 300 pillows.
I can believe it. I once, and only once, washed a hollow fibre pillow.
Yeah.
And when it came out, there was a clump of the filling that had all gone it was literally rattling around inside.
Well, how this pillow came about, a buyer who you know very well from a very large shopping channel, not Shop and TV, one we'd been on for years. She came along to us, she said, you know, the public love your duvets. Could you please make a pillow to the same high standards? Well, we went back to our head office in Vancouver. We have a research and development department there. And Rob, we went to work making a pillow. Now, we took our time. There's an old saying, the devil is in the detail. So we took our time. It took us roughly 2.5 years to get the pillow ready to be sold to the public. Now, at this point, I should mention, the Bedding Association, who are very clever people, they reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, they're not, but if they were, they reckon the percentage it would be returned could be as high as 65%.
I think it'd be higher.
Yeah, well, keep that figure at the back of your mind. 10 million a year into landfill.
Got it.
65%.
Yes.
When we launched this pillow in the United Kingdom, in the first 13 months, we sold 86,000 pillows. Now, we didn't get 60 or 65% return, Rob. We got 19 individual pillows returned out of 86,000. We sold them with a money-back guarantee. If you don't like them, simply send them back.
So people could send them back?
19 people out of 86,000 sent them back.
It's something like 0.002%.
Now, here's the reason why.
You know,
This is the one I sleep on at home. When I travel down to Manchester from Glasgow, that's where I live, Glasgow, I bring this pillow with me. Why do I bring it with me? So I can hold it up to the camera, the viewers can have a look at it, and they can make a judgment. This pillow has been slept on for 17 or 18,000 hours by me. It's been washed, I'd say 20 to 25 times. You wash it a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. When you wash it, see what I'm doing now? I'm scrunching it up. It cannot and it will not lose shape. We tell you on the label exactly what's in this pillow. We're not trying to hoodwink anyone. If you were to cut this open, in the middle, you have a little pocket of fiber to give you support for your neck and shoulders, to give you maximum comfort. All the way around that, you have layer after layer after layer after layer of AAA grade, long fiber, mulberry silk. Not any old silk, mulberry, AAA grade, considered by the bedding industry to be the best silk you can possibly get. Not by me, not by Rob, by the bedding industry.
Well, the textile industry in general, really, yeah.
The top cover Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count, long fiber. So basically you have an exceptionally high quality, washable product, allergy board approved. At any given time in the average pillow, you'll find there's 1 million dust mites on average. Now the lifespan of a dust mite is 10 weeks. They only live for 10 weeks. Then they die within the pillow.
But they have lots of babies.
And what passes through their body before they die is in the pillow. So if you have any member of your family who suffers, unfortunately, from allergies, one of my sons, I have 4 sons, one of them, Martin, suffers terribly with hay fever. And people with breathing problems in particular, why take a chance? Why waste your money on pillows which are going to be packed with dead dust
They're
mites?
Breeding grounds for, they're literally, you're breeding dust mites in your pillow.
There's a clue in the name, dust. When I die, I'll turn to dust. And so do the dust mites. Every 10 weeks, 1 million die within the average pillow. 5 million in a year. They reckon the average pillow doubles in weight in 3 years with dead dust mites. So this pillow, allergy board approved, it tells you there in simple language, no dust mites. So anybody with allergies, don't think twice. Now you can only buy this pillow from 2 people, from myself or from Shop and TV. Shop and TV buy very large quantities at a very special price. And then they do something wonderful. They pass the saving on to the viewer. I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, Shop and TV, they're not greedy. They work in small, tight margins. I sell this pillow on my website for one pillow, £60 and £5 postage. And to use a modern phrase, I'm not ripping people off. You can buy them this morning from Shop and TV for £40. That's £20 less than you would normally have to pay for one. My advice to you is to buy a couple, put them in your bed. It will be the best thing you have ever done. Your head won't get hot on it. You won't sweat on it. It's machine washable. It's dust mite free. It's guaranteed. And you can have your money back if you don't like it. In my honest opinion, you won't find a pillow anywhere in Britain that's better than this.
Or anywhere in the world, to be honest. Do you know, it just occurred to me another way of thinking about something you said earlier. If you, let's say you bought a cheap hollow fibre, you know, synthetic pillow. First of all, I've never found one. No. I did once find one that actually did have, and it was a harder, because I needed two pillows stacked on top. Yeah. So I did get a firm pillow, but it was too firm. It was uncomfortable. Yeah. But regular hollow fibre pillows are so pathetically thin. You need at least two, if not three.
Yeah.
Now, even if you said a fiver, let's say you need two pillows to get a reasonable amount of support. You still don't, but anyway, let's call it a tenner. If I said to you, all right, you've walked into my shop today. Hello, welcome to Rob's Bedding. What have you got? Well, I've got this amazing pillow, or I've got this other pillow here. You can either buy that one, well, two of those, it costs you a tenner, and you replace it about 300 times in your lifetime.
That's exactly what you do, 300.
Or you can have this one, and you probably won't need to replace it for, well, you know, what, 10, 15, 20 years?
Yes, at least. Now, here's Rob.
What would you buy?
When we're doing shows like this, I very often mention statistics.
Yes.
Here's one that I've never mentioned before.
Oh, excellent. Good.
And I found this out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Every year, and any viewer watching, please check it. It's quite simple.
Yeah.
Go into Google or Wikipedia, or AI as they call it these days. Just check it. Every year, how much money, Rob, for a bit of fun?
Yeah.
How much?
Ooh.
You won't believe this.
I love a bit of fun.
How much money do you think is spent by the British public on pillows every single year?
How many people in Britain? 50 million?
I think it's 72 million.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Cracky. 72 million. And say a tenner, and maybe, I don't know, a fifth of the population. 720, I don't know, 10 million?
No. This will shock you.
Yeah.
Over 100 million pounds every year is spent on cheap, nasty, that's a fact.
100
Rob,
million
that's an absolute
pounds.
fact. Over 100 million pounds. Companies fill these pillows up with all sorts of ridiculous contraptions inside them. There was one they filled out with bird seed. You had to put it in the microwave. Another one, if you wanted to cool your head to be cool on it, you put it in the fridge. I saw a TV company recently selling one with the music inside it. You put your head down and you've got little Richard shouting in your ear. Now we're in Manchester. 6, 7, 8 months ago, I was in the biggest retailer in Manchester. They're known all over Britain. They had a mountain of pillows on sale. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 dozen. I'm talking about hundreds on pallets, stacked up to the ceiling. Pillows, £6 each. Rob, they were filled with recycled plastic bottles. £6 each. Now imagine a July evening, hot, sticky, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Your heads in plastic bottles. And that's...
Oh, come on, Ray. I mean, look, when you're hot, don't you get out the cola bottles and lie on them? I mean, I do.
When I phoned the buyer up here, I said, I'm in a big shop here. They're selling pillows filled with plastic bottles, £6 each. This is what she said. She said, surely not, Raymond. And I took a picture and sent it to her.
I remember. I won't mention the name.
I
won't mention the name of it because maybe there are people out there that swear by these. I don't know. But when I was on the original shopping channel, we were presenting a pillow that was filled with a type of. it was a husk from a... Do you know the ones I mean?
It's like buzzseed.
Yeah, and I'm like... And I remember touching it, and it's like... It was like they filled it with cornflakes or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, what on earth? And again, marketing. Don't believe anything you read or see or hear.
We sell lots of pillows, and we got 19 returned out of 86,000. At that point, we stopped keeping records. The amount of pillows we get sold, we get returned every year. Believe it or believe it not, Rob, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You could put the pillows we get returned in an average, standard shopping trolley from a supermarket. We get very few pillows returned. Duvets.
And I bet you it's more...
we never get any returns.
Some people maybe like... I mean, everyone has different needs. Maybe they like something really firm or really... And this just doesn't quite...
That's my fault. I should have mentioned this. This is a medium firm support pillow. It's going to give you a lovely support for your neck, shoulders and head. But remember this. Your head won't sweat on it. There are no dust mites in it, and it's machine washable. Now, I'll hold this one up again. It's been slept on for 17 or 18,000 hours. It's the one I sleep on at home. Ask yourself this question. You might be sat at home this morning thinking, should I buy one or two, or should I not? Ask yourself this simple question. The pillow you're currently sleeping on doesn't look like this. Pristine, clean and white. Most pillows, after they've been slept on for 3 or 4 months, they're yellow.
Yeah.
Because people, every single person, old men like me, young children, everybody dribbles
even
when
if you're
they
hot.
sleep. Rob, everybody dribbles.
Yeah.
And if
we
you
all
can't
sweat
wash
too.
the pillow, it turns yellow.
Roughly a pint. Well, it varies, but it can be as much as a pint of sweat.
But apart from all these technicalities, it's just the most beautiful way to sleep. It's comfort, luxury at an affordable price.
Now, Raymond,
when
Rob, one has a pillow, what would be the logical thing we should talk about next, do you think?
Football.
Sure, go ahead. I don't know anything about football, but you know.
No, let's talk about pillow slips, Rob.
Let's do that.
Way!
Woohoo!
And I think we have white ones back in stock.
We do. We've only got about 6 minutes before we join ITV and STV.
Right. Okay.
But we'll give you we'll tickle your fancies.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
I'll look at the right camera as well.
2 little words of warning.
Yeah.
Right. When you're buying pillowcases anywhere in the United Kingdom, be very careful, right? Read the small print on the label. 70% of all the so-called silk pillowcases in Britain have inferior fibres mixed in with them.
Yeah.
These are made by the official Mulberry company. They're guaranteed to be 100% pure silk. Long fibre,
Both
AAA
sides.
grade Mulberry silk. And Rob's quite right to mention this. These have silk on both sides. Now, you might say to yourself, well, surely they should have. Well, very often people have said to me recently, you know, they've said, I bought pillowcases on the internet. When they were delivered, they only had silk on one side. Well, these have silk on both sides. Now,
That's like
read
the old
label,
Sylvester story,
right?
isn't it?
Now, when I'm doing a live presentation, people come up to me and they say, I've read about these pillowcases. They stop your wrinkling, don't they? Now, they get an awful shock, Rob, when I say, I'm sorry, nothing stops your wrinkling. And nothing will stop your wrinkling.
Oh, you've just burst my bubble now.
But, Rob, what you can do, you can slow the process down.
Yes.
Now, in silk, there are 18 amino acids. One of them, a very important one, is called sericin, S-E-R-I-C-I-N. Check this out on a computer. What sericin does, it traps the moisture within your skin. It keeps your skin hydrated. If you are currently sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, doesn't matter how good, how high the quality of the cotton is, that cotton will take the moisture from your skin as you sleep, and your skin will become dry, and it will accelerate the wrinkling process. Silk does the opposite. It stops the wrinkling process by keeping your skin hydrated. Now, there is no static in silk, so it cuts out frizz as far as your hair is concerned. And if you have long hair in particular, you'll find you don't have to tie it up at night when you go to bed. So when you're waking up in the morning, you don't look like Ken Dodd used to look when he came on to do his act. You don't get bedhead. That's all the advantages of silk. Anybody who buys a silk pillowcase, anybody who takes a pride in their appearance, who wants their hair to look good, who wants their skin to look wonderful, buy a pure silk pillowcase, but make sure it's pure silk. This is AAA grade Mulberry by the official Mulberry company, sold with a money-back guarantee. I sell this pillowcase on my website, if I remember correctly, I think for 45
sorry, the
pounds,
pillowcase,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's 45 pounds.
Yes.
Shop and TV are selling them for 35 pounds. I would say to anybody, grab them. We estimate this pillowcase will last you the best part of your adult life. The colors are beautiful. They feel beautiful. Your head won't get hot on them. You won't sweat on them. And of course, they just look wonderful in the bed, really. And we have white. We have 4 different colors, but we have the white back in stock. Because the last show we did, we literally sold thousands of them.
Oh,
we sold out.
It'll be the first to go.
Yeah, but we've got them back again.
Yes, you managed to get a container through, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
All. Don't let's talk about that.
For fear of, well, just for fear. Ray, we're about to join ITV and STV,
Okay.
so let me just remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we have literally dozens of people watching, but once ITV and STV pop in, it's going to be hundreds of thousands, if not more. So, and this is one of our busiest, one of our biggest shows ever. Not ever, but always, actually. It's true. All of the above. I'm a big fan of the show Would I Lie to You, which admittedly is on the other channel, but this is true. I'm pressing my buzzer and telling you this is true. Everything we have said, if you've been watching or however long you've been watching for, you don't have to believe that it's absolutely the truth just because it is. You don't have to take my word for it just because I'm telling you the truth and because Ray is telling you the truth. Only you will know whether you're going to decide to buy the pillow now or whether you're going to wait maybe for a few more minutes or whether you're going to, I would say, make the mistake of not buying it at all. Unfortunately, you are, I'm assuming, a human being, and human beings, the one thing that we all have in common, there are many things, but the one thing pertinent to tonight's broadcast is that we all need to sleep. You can't survive without sleep. You start hallucinating after as little as 48 hours. Believe me, I know. And I think the record for survival was about 12 days. 12 days. So everyone has to do it. You spend a third of your lives, roughly, doing it, and most people don't sleep as well as they could. This will, honestly, potentially solve that and change your life for the better. And there aren't many things that you can buy that will do that. So it's up to you. But for right now, stand by. Here come the others. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E. If you're wondering why I am clutching a pillow, it's because this is not an ordinary pillow. No, it's not. More about that shortly. You know, there are very few times in a person's life, and I'm speaking now about you and your life, where you can literally, by making one very simple decision, change your life for the better. Now, we've all made decisions where we think we're changing our lives for the better, haven't we? I bet you can think of several. And then the reality is that you've taken a punt on whether it will, maybe it will, maybe it won't. You don't really know for sure. And then you find out sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Well, tonight, Matthew, I can pretty much guarantee that the chances are as high as they can possibly be that by changing 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 things, but 2 primary things in your life, you will have a better quality of life, probably by Tuesday onwards. Now, that's a big claim, I realise that. And I'm going to put we're all going to put our money where our mouths are. And if you're wondering, what on earth is Rob talking about here? What is it? What is it? Some magic elixir? Is it some lotion or potion? Is he selling wands from, what was the name of the wand shop?
Harry Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter. Can't think of the name now. No, it's bedding. Oh, bedding? Yeah, it's pillows and duvets and mattresses. Oh, my. And pillowcases. But primarily, the 2 primary products, duvet, pillow, because everyone pretty much sleeps under a duvet or some sort of cover. And everyone, I would say probably exclusively, sleeps with the head on a pillow. Well, these pillows, and I'm clutching one right here, and the duvets we have on the show tonight are not ordinary duvets and pillows. Now, they're not magic, but they do feel like it. They have some very special properties. Mulberry Silk is the name of the game. Well, what on earth is Mulberry Silk? Well, Mulberry Silk, you can read the graphics as I tell you some additional information that won't be on the graphics. It is considered to be literally the best quality silk that money can buy. Now, there are actually 3 grades of it, but this is AAA grade. This is the best. If you had a suitcase of money or bars of gold, or I mean, it doesn't matter what currency, if you were a billionaire or even a trillionaire, even Elon Musk himself could not buy better silk than Mulberry Silk, because it doesn't exist. And in your duvets and pillows, you have AAA grade Mulberry Silk exclusively on the inside and Egyptian cotton on the outside. And it's not offcuts or bits, it's not leftovers of Mulberry Silk. It also is not just a small percentage Mulberry Silk, no. It is 100% long-fibre Mulberry Silk in your duvets and in your pillows. And it literally, as it comes off the cocoon, I'll show you a cocoon in a minute, actually. We've got some here in the studio. Now, what this does is silk regulates temperature. Mountaineers, people that climb Everest and such, their clothing is lined with silk. Their tents are lined with silk. Their sleeping bags are lined with silk. If you go skiing, ski clothes usually are lined with silk because it regulates temperature. Helps to keep you warm in the winter, and at the perfect, what I call the Goldilocks zone when it comes to warmth, and also cool, or cooler at least, in the summer. And it does it automatically. And what the problem it solves is that every other duvet, and by the way, I'm going to be really stern with you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because what is it? It's what do they call it when you're stern with somebody to do good for them? It's tough love. It's tough. Yes, it's tough love, Ray. Who's that talking? It's Ray, my guest, who I was going to introduce in a moment, but now he's spoken. Here he is.
Hi,
Ray, what I was going to say
Good morning to all the viewers.
It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you, Rob.
And I'll come back to what I was going to say. I'll do my stern bit later.
Okay.
But let me ask you, would you agree that if anyone has a pillow or a duvet that has any kind of feather in it, any kind, no matter what it is, or any kind of hollow fibre, synthetic fibre, that they cannot physically get as good a night's sleep as they can with Mulberry Silk?
Yeah, I would agree totally. And of course, the viewers would expect me to say that.
Of course.
Because I'm trying to
prove it!
Because I'm selling duvets filled with silk. But I can assure you of one thing. When you buy this duvet, you're buying something special. And Rob and myself will do our very best to convince you in the next hour or so. You are buying a very high quality product manufactured by a company with a stellar reputation for quality. You're buying a product with a 10-year guarantee, a no-nonsense 10-year guarantee.
Sorry, did you just say a 10-year guarantee
years.
on a duvet?
On a duvet. Now, Rob, although we guarantee them for 10 years,
yes,
the duvets we have in my bed at home, I keep telling this on television, the duvets we have in my bed at home are 37 years old. My wife washes them on average 3, sometimes 4 times a year. You can wash them. They don't lose shape when you wash them. You wash them a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. And once or twice a year, on a warm sunny day, Rob, I'm sure we'll get at least one warm sunny day, right? If you drop it over the washing line in the garden, the UV rays of the sun will totally purify and cleanse it. It won't retain body odors. You know that lovely feeling you get, Rob, when you're tired, you have a shower before you go to bed, and you go into a bed that's freshly laundered.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in my house, we call it clean sheets night. You go into bed and you lie back in bed and you think, oh my goodness, this is wonderful. That's the feeling you get every single night when you go to bed sleeping under silk.
Ray, also,
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I mean, it's a pleasure to get into, and the luxury is one thing. But when you think about it, most people don't wash their duvets because you can't fit them in the machine. With this, you can. Maybe you take them to a laundrette, and what is, you know, you 30 quid or something like that to get them. 25, 30 pounds. But if you don't, so most people, they change the sheets and wash the sheets on the outside, like the duvet cover or the pillowcase, but not what's inside. That's like washing your clothes but never showering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas this, and when you first feel this, there are two truisms in life. And I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and I was watching it only last night. Two things are true. Number one, that when people go in the TARDIS for the first time, they always say it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
And number two, when somebody picks up a Mulberry Silk Duvet, they say, that's very thin. Is that really going to keep me warm?
Well, as you know, Rob, from previous shows we have done together, as a company, we exhibit at every major exhibition in the United Kingdom. At the moment, we're at the London Ideal Home Exhibition, opened yesterday. Now, I've been going to that exhibition, believe it or believe it not, for 67 years.
Wow.
Since I was a young boy. And for 37 of those years, I've been selling silk duvets. Now, when people come up to our stand, every single person, you're quite right, Rob, they touch the duvet like this and they say, oh my goodness, this is very thin. Are you sure this will keep me warm in the winter? And before I can answer, they then say, what TOG rating is it? Now, the answer to both of those questions is quite simple. Yes, it will keep you very, very warm in the winter, and it will keep you cool in the summer. And people say, well, how is that possible? Surely, how is it possible? Only one person knows the answer, Mother Nature. She's had the secret under lock and key for 5,000 years. But this duvet is an all-weather duvet. You don't need one for the winter.
Nope.
And one for the summer.
So you're saving there already.
Put it in the bed, enjoy it, sleep under it. It is, I must stress this, it is allergy board approved. Now, here is a certificate which I'm going to hold up to show you. The allergy board in the United Kingdom are based in Warwick University. And I say this as a compliment. They are very difficult people to satisfy. So much so, we are the only company currently selling silk duvets anywhere in the United Kingdom that have this coveted certificate. And here's the interesting thing. I'm sure the camera will pick this up.
We've got it on the screen. It's
if you look at the bottom of that certificate, on the right-hand side here, it's issued for 1 year at a time. Now, they do that for a reason. They're not silly. Very often, you go into a place of business, there are certificates on the wall that have been there for 30 or 40 years, and they're brown with age. And sometimes the companies who have these certificates, Rob, not always, but sometimes, they let their manufacturing standards drop. Now, that cannot happen with us.
No.
The allergy board are cunning. They don't phone you up and say, I'm coming in at 2 o'clock on Friday. They just walk in unannounced. And if our standards drop, if we're doing anything they don't approve of, this is taken away overnight.
It's like restaurant inspectors and things like that, isn't it?
Exactly. Now, we have this certificate for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, 27 of them, New Zealand and Australia. So we have it for roughly 35 countries. Now, the reason I bring that to the viewer's attention, Rob, very often what satisfies the authorities, say, in Ireland, will not satisfy the authorities in Australia or Canada or New Zealand. But in this occasion, this product does. So that has this wonderful certificate.
Well, I was going to say, Ray, we're just approaching 1 o'clock, so I'm going to we often get a lot of people tuning in again. 1 o'clock for some reason. Everyone 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Right.
But I wanted to just say, trying to get anyone in the world to agree on anything at the moment. I mean, yeah, but all those countries over regulations for. Oh, I mean.
It's unheard of.
It is unheard of. It really is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 1 a.m. if you're watching us live, and if you're watching us on +1, it's not. Here's a recap if you have just tuned in, and I'm going to give you a quick summary. First of all, let me just cover the prices. So with these, now bear in mind that these are guaranteed. Every duvet you buy is guaranteed for 10 years. Now, they don't just vanish in a puff of smoke after 10 years. They do keep going, and people have had their duvets for 10, 20, 30 years or more. But even if you just based it on 10 years, at our price of £139 for the single, that's 4 pence, yes, 4 pence a day. The double, which is £179, is 5 pence a day. The king is £199, that's 6 pence a day. And the super king is 219, which is 7 pence a day. But bear in mind, it's the old buy cheap, pay twice. How many of the cheap duvets have you replaced so far in your lives, or pillows for that matter? How many are you going to replace in the future? If I said to you, right, if you came into Rob's bedding shop, or Rob's bedding emporium, as I like to think of it, and I said, right, I've got 2 duvets for you. This one here, you can have for just £30. But over the next 10 years, you're going to have to replace it about 20 times. Or you can have this duvet, which is a little bit more. It's up to £199 for the Super King. But you won't, in that 10 years, have to replace it at all. And actually, you probably won't have to replace it for the next 30 years. Depending on your age, you might not have to replace it for the rest of your life. It might outlive you. And if you're buying it for your children, then they will be middle-aged before they even need to think about buying a new duvet. Because, OK, here's the summary. You can wash it. You can put it, because of its size, you can put it into a standard front-loading 7.5 kilo washing machine. I do it all the time. I wash mine, once a quarter. During the summer, maybe more, because if you sweat a lot, and if you get any discoloration on the cotton, you can just wash it. If you've got one on a child's bed and they have a little accident or something like that, or if you've got somebody who's convalescing or somebody who's elderly, you can keep it nice and clean. 10-year guarantee on every single duvet. You don't get that on any bedding, but also what you don't get on any bedding, and here's the bit that is this is the game changer here. Everything we're telling you, you don't have to wonder if we're telling you the truth, even though we are. You've got a money-back guarantee. Yeah. An absolutely unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. Not from Shop on TV, I hasten to add, although we do have a returns policy, of course, but from Ray's company, RK Sales, and their information is on every label on every one of the products that they will ship to you. So if you are not completely satisfied for any reason whatsoever, within 30 days you can get all your money back. The only thing it will cost you is the P&P of £4.95, because we've got to pay the postman. So it's got the Allergy UK seal of approval. It's naturally temperature regulating. It will keep you warm in the summer and, warm in the winter and cool in the summer. But you never overheat. That's the thing. You can keep your duvet on, not take it off at all, and you never overheat. And that's the crux. Because, ladies and gentlemen, with regular duvets, hollow fibre duvets, feather duvets, you get too hot, the heat builds up, it can't escape, off comes the duvet to let some air in, and then you cool down, now you're cold, you pull the duvet back on. That's woken you up in the middle of a sleep cycle. Then it happens again and again and again and again. So all night long you get toxic sleep, you can't sleep properly, you can't get into that full, deep recovery, recuperative, restorative, regenerative, healing sleep that your body needs, biologically, depends on. With this, you can, because you'll never wake up because of being too hot with a Mulberry Silk Duvet. You just won't. Not that I've ever experienced. And it doesn't matter whether you run hot, and if you're sleeping with somebody in the bed who your partner runs cold. When people say what the TOG rating, it doesn't need a TOG rating. Silk doesn't have one. But also, it will always be the right temperature for you. You'll always get exactly the right level of warmth for you. Even if the person lying next to you has totally different needs, temperature needs, they will get the ideal temperature for them. Also, you're not going to sweat. You're not going to wake up clammy because, ladies and gentlemen, silk wicks away 30% of its weight in moisture. So with your pillow, you're not waking up in the summer with a hot head and a wet head because the pillow, you sweated into the pillow. That's your summary. Now, I want to go back to Ray because obviously he's the expert, but you need to go to shopontv.co.uk right now. Click live on air shop now. You can actually own one of these. Instead of just thinking about it, make a decision that's really going to make your life better, 1/3 of your life better. Why would you not? Look, if you can't afford it, I get it, although you can spread the cost on PayPal Pay in 3. And if you're really so sceptical that you just can't believe anything that two honest human beings on television are telling you, then just get a pillow, try a pillow, and then after a couple of days when you realise, oh, they were telling the truth, then come back again and get a duvet. The biggest regret people make is that they buy a pillow and they don't buy the duvet. Then they find out what we're saying is true, and then they're like, oh, I wish I'd ordered it all together. Now you've got to pay another P&P. You can call us as well, 03333 241 241, and place your order over the phone. Right, what I want to can I just tell the whole story here? Tell us about what Mulberry Silk is, how it's made, why it's so different to all of the rubbish that we have in our other bedding.
Silk is quite simple. We take the silkworm, we place it in a large metal tray, roughly the size of this bed. We place the tray containing the worm into a darkened room, and we keep it there for 35, 36 days. Now, we feed the worm exclusively in mulberry leaves. It will eat 10,000 times its own body weight in mulberry leaves, and its body weight will increase tenfold.
Yeah.
Now, after 35, 36 days, it kicks the cocoon off. That's a little cocoon I have in my finger. Now, believe it or believe it not, on that cocoon, that small cocoon, there is over 1 mile of silk, unbroken, and one long piece. Now, we place that cocoon...
Hold your hand nice and still, Ray. Go on, carry on, yeah.
We place that cocoon in tepid water, and all the silk floats off in one piece, unbroken. Now, because it's long, Rob, because it's unbroken, we can stitch it all the way around the perimeter.
Yes.
Now, it takes 2 skilled operators, a day to a day and a half, to stitch it all the way around the perimeter. It's got to be done by hand. Can't do that part by machine. Once it's been anchored around the perimeter, we can pull it towards ourselves, and we put these box cassettes in by machine. Now, that means 2 things. Number 1, the silk cannot move.
No,
because it's long fibre.
Or bunch or whatever, yeah.
Because it's long fibre.
Yeah, it's not offcuts.
So you get an even distribution of heat.
Yeah.
And when you wash it, it cannot and it will not clump up. In every duvet, there is at least 5,000 or 6,000 of these little cocoons.
Good Lord, wow.
Believe it or believe it not. Now, here's the problem, Rob. There's always problems when you manufacture. The tree that provides, there's 3 different colors of mulberry leaves, red, black, and white. Now, if you feed the worm on red and black mulberry leaves, you get very high quality mulberry silk. If you feed the worm on the white mulberry leaf, all of a sudden, you take a step up. You get AAA grade mulberry, and that's what we are using here, the best of the best. If you go into Google or Wikipedia and type in mulberry silk, now remember, they're not trying to sell you a duvet.
No.
They're just answering questions, honestly. This is what they will tell you. Within the silk industry, the professionals...
Oh, sorry, Ray, there's a Super King, by the way.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a Super King.
Yeah.
They will tell you, the professionals will tell you, within the silk industry, mulberry is considered to be the king of silks. That's an interesting word, king. There can only be one king, okay? Mulberry is the king within the silk industry. Top cover, Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Money back guarantee, 10-year warranty. We estimate this duvet will last you the best part of your adult life. The duvet we have in my bed at home, I've already mentioned, is 37 years old. People come up to me when I'm at an exhibition, they walk past our stand. Sometimes they just give you a little wave like this. They say, got one, lovely, love it. And then some people come and have a little chat and they say, you know, I've had one 20 years, 22 years, 25 years. I've got a lovely job when I go to an exhibition. I'm selling something people love. So it's a pleasant day for me. People are always nice when they come up to have a chat. They never complain. People buy this product and they fall in love with it. It's luxury at an affordable price. And if you don't like it, and that's virtually impossible, I promise you, apart from Shop and TV, my company, and we've been in business for 67 years, we'll refund your money instantly. No arguing, no fighting on the telephone, instantly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can reveal now that tonight's show is going to be a show of several parts. So we're going to obviously explain about the products, but also in the next section shortly, we're going to tell you something about regular bedding that may shock you. And then in the last part of the show, maybe in, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, we're going to do an expose on the marketing trickery that is used to sell you inferior bedding. Stay tuned for that. Now, we'll be talking about it all at some point, I would imagine, but you've got to be careful. And the first thing I want to say to you, because a couple of little housekeeping points. Number one, if you go and Google Mulberry Silk Duvets, you'll find, how can I put this politely and in a non-litigious way, let's just say not so trustworthy companies purporting to be offering something similar to what we are presenting to you tonight. Well, they're not. At your peril, or certainly at your own risk, if you wish, especially if they dangle a slightly lower price at you, what you do is up to you. But I would be careful and recommend against it. I want you to know, not only are you buying products that are sold all around the world, millions of these a year, from the official Mulberry Silk manufacturing company, and Ray's the exclusive distributor in the United Kingdom, and has been in business 67 years. And also, by the way, you're watching us on ITV1 and STV, and also Freeview. We are not, we didn't just pop in the back door and, hey, I want to buy a pillow. We are a partnership with ITV1 and STV. We have rules and regulations coming out of our orifices. And also we are, as they are, governed by the Advertising Standards Authority, Ofcom, and I mean, the oversight of what we do here every night on Shop on TV is so strict. Apart from the fact we're an honest company and we're made up of a relatively small team of very honest people who genuinely have your best interests at heart, we couldn't, even if we weren't, we couldn't get away with it for a second. We wouldn't be on ITV or STV, we'd be ripped off the airwaves, just like that. So, your money, in fact, if we accidentally have a graphic that for a second gets flashed up by human error, it happens. Honestly, the emails in the morning,
panic.
It's everyone wants to know. So your money's safe, and you can guarantee, we can guarantee that what we're saying is true. It has to be. It absolutely has to be. Can't say it.
Here's another thing, Rob.
Yeah.
You've been involved with the shopping and TV for many years.
Yes, yes.
I've been doing it in different countries for 50 years, believe it or believe it not. And can I tell you, I can count on the fingers in these two hands the amount of products which I've seen on television that have lasted 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Think about that.
Yeah,
products come and go.
Yeah.
Very few last 20 or 30 years in television.
Truth is, Ray, you're absolutely right. And you and I, you know, we go back and we know lots of the same people and have been around. And again, this is why we're going to tell you some of the. It's a bit like, you know, the sort of the masked magician who tells you the magic secrets. We're going to tell you marketing secrets because we've been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, the mug, and the novelty tote bag. So. First of all, what you're not really selling duvets and pillows or pillowcases. What you're doing is you're selling a proper night's sleep that most of the nation don't get.
Well, you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot put a price on a good night's sleep.
No.
And as I mentioned earlier, I do these exhibitions 200 days of every year. I'm at an exhibition somewhere. people come up to my stand, and for the last 37 years, I've been selling silk duvets. So I've got a good idea of what the public like or dislike. And the biggest problem people have in bed, as far as getting a good, decent night's sleep is concerned, the biggest problem, Rob, people get too hot in bed.
Yeah,
Not too cold.
Oh, yeah.
Too hot. They're waking up in the middle of the night. They're covered in a thin film of sweat. The duvet's off, the duvet's on, the duvet's off, the duvet's on. Now they're awake when they should be asleep.
There's literally called that toxic sleep.
Toxic
and
sleep.
Pillows. No, let's talk about pillows.
Pillows, okay.
Fold what you were saying into the pillow, if you would be so kind.
Where do you start with pillows?
Well,
Britain is awash with cheap, nasty, horrible, nasty, terrible pillows. Every single year in Britain, this is a frightening statistic, and any viewer might get a shock when I say this, but for your own peace of mind, check it. Go into Google or Wikipedia. Every year, 10 million pillows get thrown into landfill every year. People perhaps are in the supermarket, they're walking along with the trolley, they see the pillows, 2 for £10, nicely packaged.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a girl in the front. She's always sleeping like this. She looks beautiful. Makeup's perfect, hair's perfect.
She's sold separately.
She just looks lovely. So
she doesn't
all
come
of
with
a sudden, the pillows are in the shopping trolley. They get them home. 3 or 4 weeks later, they think, what have I done? And they end up in landfill. The average lady with a husband and 2 children, this is a fact, Rob, if they live their normal lifespan for the UK, will buy 300 pillows in their normal lifespan. 10 million a year in landfill. Every single year in Britain, over £100 million is spent by the British public on pillows, searching for one they really like.
Say that again, how much?
Over £100 million.
A year?
Every year.
That gets probably all thrown away into a landfill.
Now, to give you an example.
I think this, I mean, so this is, I don't know if you can call it a green product. Can you call it a green product? I suppose, certainly for the environment, it's not going to end up in a landfill, is it?
This pillow, this is the one I sleep on at home.
Yeah.
Let's begin at the beginning. I bring this down with my, when I come down to Manchester from Glasgow. This is the one I sleep on at home. It's 6 years old. It's been slept on for 17,000 hours by me. It's been washed 25 or 30 times. Why do I bring it with me? I bring it with me so I can hold it up to the camera and the viewer can make a judgment. Ask yourself this question. The pillow you're currently sleeping on, does it look like this? I doubt it very much. No. Most people, when they sleep, well, not most people, everybody, when they sleep, they dribble. Old men like me, young children, babies, everybody dribbles, and pillows end up yellow. That's why they sell you pillow protectors, to stop it happening. This pillow's been washed, I'd say 20, 25 times. Wash it a cold wash, 30 degrees. Tumble dry or line dry. Now, it tells you on the label exactly what's inside this pillow. Cut it open in the middle. Tells you here, we're not trying to hoodwink you. In the middle, you have a pocket of fibre. That's to give you support for your neck and shoulders, to give you total comfort. It's a medium firm support pillow. All the way around that core, you have layer after layer after layer after layer of AAA grade Mulberry silk. The top cover, Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Anything over 180 thread count is luxury. Can you see what I'm doing now? I'm scrunching it up.
We can't actually, Ray. We're on a video.
Rob,
we'll see it in a moment.
When you wash it, it cannot lose shape.
Yeah.
Wash it as often as you want. It's allergy board approved, no dust mites. That's not Raymond saying that. That's not Rob saying it. That's the United Kingdom Allergy Board saying it. Dust mites do not live in this pillow. They don't like silk. When they see silk, they pack a bag, they emigrate. So if you have anybody in your family who suffers particularly with breathing problems, this is the pillow you should be sleeping on. Now, there's only 2 places you can buy this pillow, from myself or from Shop and TV. I sell them for £60 each. One pillow, £60, £5 postage. Now, to use a modern phrase, Rob, I'm not robbing people or ripping people off. That's the true value of this pillow. Shop and TV, the buyers here, they know the job, believe you me. They're tenacious. They buy very large quantities at a special low price. Then they do something wonderful. They pass the saving on to the viewer. They're not greedy. They work on skinny, tiny margins, but they depend on selling lots, skinny margins. They charge you £40 for this pillow. That's £20 saving on every single one you buy. It's sold with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I am telling you now, straight to the camera, if you buy this pillow and you don't like it, I'll refund your money. Apart from Shop and TV, I'll refund your money with the same speed that I take it from you. And can I mention something else? When when you're selling anything in television and when you're offering a money-back guarantee, I consider the success of the product not on how many we sell, but how many we get returned. When we started selling this on TV, in the first 13 months, we sold 86,000 pillows. We got 19 returned. 19 out of 86,000 over a 13-month period. Surely to goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that'll tell you all you need to know about this product. It's a beautiful luxury pillow at an affordable price. And I'm telling you again, try it. I'm asking you to buy it. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm asking you to buy it. And I'll refund your money if you don't like it. You have nothing to lose.
I did promise you that we'd give you some information that could shock you. So, please prepare thyself to be shocked. Brace yourself, as they say. If you have a pillow that's filled with any kind of feather or is synthetic, hollow fibre, that kind of thing, after 3 years, the average pillow made or filled with those things, as much as 50% of its weight can be dust mites, dust mite poo, and the dead carcasses of the dust mites who came before the ones that are still alive. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you or shock you, although I wouldn't advise you go and Google a dust mite. They're actually in the arachnid family. They're spiders. But I will also just say they are harmless to us. The actual dust mite is harmless to humans, but their poo is an allergen, and that can aggravate asthma, any kind of breathing disorder. I had an allergy to dust mites, or dust mites. I actually had injections when I was a kid, and I was also very asthmatic. So the doctor told my mother, just keep the place as clean as you can, and anything that's likely to have allergens in it or contain allergens, get it away from me, basically. What you may not realise, folks, if you've had a pillow that is hollow fibre or is a feather product filling, if you could do it now if you want, go get your pillow and hold it up just hold it up like that, right? If it droops a lot down the sides, that additional droop is probably being caused by the weight of dust mites, the droppings, and the dead dust mites. So now, obviously, hollow fibre pillows can be quite flimsy, so it will droop a bit, but if it droops a bit more than you'd expect. And also the other thing is, you may not realise this, but you're actually a biological scientist, everyone watching tonight, because you're breeding different strains of bacteria without knowing it. Honestly, because when you sweat into a pillow that's got feathers or that it's got synthetic filling, and you're drooling into it and all of that, and you're sweating into it, you're creating the perfect environment, because heat and moisture is exactly what you need to breed bacteria, and that's what you're doing. And do you even wash your hollow fibre pillows? Can you even wash your hollow fibre pillows? Probably not, because they clump and they're useless and you have to throw them away. So just for the love of goodness, have a think for a second about what's living in your pillow. I don't think it's I wouldn't describe it as sanitary particularly. Whereas when you have a Mulberry Silk pillow, and by the way, I want you to know I am put my money where my mouth is, because so at my home in London, I have a Super King bed. I have a Mulberry Silk mattress. I have a Mulberry Silk mattress protector. I have a Super King size duvet and 2 Mulberry Silk pillows. My son has a king size bed. He has a king size mattress from Mulberry Silk, a king size mattress protector, a king size duvet and 2 Mulberry Silk pillows. I also have a home in Warrington. I have a room in a house of multiple occupancy for when I'm working in Manchester. I have a Mulberry Silk mattress. I have I have a king Mulberry Silk duvet, and I have 2 Mulberry Silk pillows. My best mate from school has got Mulberry Silk pillows and duvets, he and his family, his wife and his 2 kids. All the people that work at Shop on TV have them. And do you remember, Ray, if we wind back the clock to, I think it was 2020, wasn't it? Was that when lockdown happened?
During the pandemic.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was working
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, different channel, or a shopping channel. And it was -7 degrees in the dead of winter, and they closed all the hotels. And so what our CEO did very cunningly, he would have had to shut the business down, or he put these porta cabins in the car park. They were called bunker bins. They were 6 foot by 7 foot by 8 foot, with a single bed, a little sort of counter and a fridge and a microwave and a little tiny bathroom at the back. I lived in a box, literally for months and months and months on end, which is why I went a bit peculiar. But the point is, one night I was free, a bit, they said. And do you remember we did a show, didn't we, Ray?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, this bloke's, what a load of toddle, that can't be right. And so Ray lent me a single duvet, which I later bought.
I insisted you paid.
I know you did. Well, it's only fair. But I went back to my bunker bin and I stripped down to my boxers and I got into the bed and I wrapped myself in my single duvet, and I thought, and I got to this lovely temperature. And then I thought to myself, right, I'm just going to see how long it takes before I overheat. Any sec, I'm going to overheat any minute. Any minute now, I'm going to overheat in a minute. And I never did. And actually, I woke up hours later in the same position, still wrapped in the duvet. You can't overheat, in my experience, with a Mulberry Silk duvet. So I came and gave you money straight away. And I've still got that single duvet in my living room today. Do you know what? Do you know how many hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds that saved me over the last 6 years? Because I don't turn the heating on in the winter unless we really, really have to. My son and I will sit on our recliner sofas and we will cover ourselves with a single duvet, and it means I don't have to put the heating on. And that, you know, the cost of heating these days. You've got to check out. If it's in your basket, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't pay, you don't play. You are not going to sleep better with this sitting in your basket. Look, I can promise you more than I can promise with any other product really I can think of, and I mean all the products we offer at Shop on TV are fabulous. Click the live on air shop now, go down, select what you want to buy and pay for it. There's no product I've ever sold that I can think of in my entire career, or presented. I don't really consider myself a salesman. You know, just click the buy now. Just forget the bar, skip the basket, just go buy now. You can check out as a guest as well. It's the only product I can think of that I've presented in the last 30 plus years that literally will change your life the second you start using it.
And people simply love them. And
really
as I said earlier, and I think this is something the viewers should perhaps consider. There's very few products you will see on shopping channels that last over 30 or 40 years. This product has. And there's one reason for that, ladies and gentlemen. When we sell it, we do our very best not to exaggerate the product. We try and keep it factual.
Yes.
But apart from that, the quality of the product is so high. At the end of the day, you simply cannot beat quality. Nothing beats quality.
Well, and it's not even, you can buy quality that still isn't as good as Mulberry Silk, because the silk just acts in ways that no other filling in a duvet does. By the way, we've got some comments here. Simon said, bought the pillow. First of all, hello, Simon. He said it's excellent, just need the duvet and I'm about to buy it. Well, I hope you got it, Simon. Everything I'm saying, I swear on my life, is true. Then we had Vicky. Hi, Vicky. How are you? She says, can I ask, please, Of course you can. I have dogs, so we'd put a duvet cover on the duvet so I can change it regularly, so I don't need to wash the duvet and damage it. Would you still get the benefits of the silk, or can you recommend what to do? Yeah, Egyptian cotton. So this is a good point. First of all, the duvets will fit into standard size duvet covers. The pillows will fit into standard size pillowcases.
Standard UK sizes.
Standard UK sizes. If you had a non-stick frying pan, Vicky, and you put a bit of chicken on it, it wouldn't stick because it's touching the non-stick. If you put a cast iron plate over the non-stick and then put the chicken on top of that, it would stick because it's not reaching the non-stick, right? Same with your duvet. So the reason these are covered in Egyptian cotton is because it's a natural fibre and it allows all of the properties of the silk to work. If you go and put something like microfiber, you know, polyester on top, it's going to do the same as the steel. It's going to trap it.
And incidentally, Rob, it's long fibre Egyptian cotton.
Well, do you know what, Ray? I went to Amazon. You can do. I mean, Dunelm have got them. I'm sure all the places have got them. You can get. I mean, I paid I think £15 for an Egyptian cotton, 300 thread count, long fibre, fitted sheet.
Yeah.
And for the duvet, I think the duvet set was about £25–30. You can get them a bit more expensive if you want with a fancy pattern, but they're not very expensive. So only cotton.
The fact that Vicky has dogs, if they happen, obviously, perhaps from what she's saying, to perhaps sleep in the bed, perhaps with Vicky, jump up in the bed if she's not there, perhaps. The fact that this is washable, Vicky, you can wash it as often as you want. I'll just repeat. The duvets we have in my bed at home are 37 years old. My wife washes them on average 3 or 4 times a year. So just buy it tonight or tomorrow and try it. And if you don't like it, Vicky, if there's any problems, you can have every penny back without one word of an argument.
Oh, hang on. The email I was about to read just disappeared. Where's it gone? Oh, Pete. Pete from Reading said, "Hi, gents. I was gobsmacked at the pillow statistic.
Yes, it's fact.
Yeah, 14 million pillows, duvets and toppers each reach landfill in the UK each year. 14 million. The Mulberry range has opened my eyes and I'm about to place an order. Great show, honest and informative."
That does shock people. People
no, I know.
That gentleman, what's his name?
It was Pete, yes, yeah.
He's obviously done what I tell people to do.
Yeah, we do tell the truth, you know.
He's quickly checked.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. 10 million pillows minimum, 10 million. It could be more. 10 million every year in landfill. 5 million duvets. When we started selling this pillow, 19 returned out of 86,000 over a 13-month period. They don't go to landfill. You put these in the bed and you sleep on them in total comfort.
And you actually do sleep. Remember the expose on marketing. Oh, 20% of the pillow has gone. You've got to check out or you won't get it. Joe said, "Dear Rob Lock." Hello, Joe. Joe from Northampton. Just wanted to send you a friendly message to say I really enjoy watching you on Shop on TV. Well, thank you. I was wondering what your favourite classic comedy TV show is from the 1960s through to Blackadder. At the moment, mine, Man About the House. Oh, Big Bang Theory. Yeah. That's a good one. Gilmore Girls. Blackadder. I watch Blackadder.
Porridge.
But also Friends. I watch Porridge. Oh, I love Porridge.
Class.
I watch all 10 seasons of Friends, usually once a year, and I absolutely love it. And there was an email that's since vanished, which was from a customer who was asking if you used to sell, what was it? Caroline was a little overzealous with her deleting. It was a car cleaning product at somewhere in Glasgow.
Yes, we used to sell a very specialised car polish called Halford sell it now.
Yeah.
The company we used to deal with, they sold out to Halfords, and I'd advise anybody to try it. It's top quality, German. It's called Mer, M-E-R.
Oh, yes,
and the man who had it was a very nice Irishman, David Flahive.
Yeah,
unfortunately, David's passed away.
Did David pass away?
David passed away. He was an absolute thoroughbred gentleman.
Oh, I worked with him for years.
We sold that for many years, every exhibition and throughout the UK and in Glasgow
I love
as
David. Well. That was from John. John, there you go. So now you know. Right. Anyway, please check out, folks. I don't know how else to say it. We are being completely honest and truthful here. Let's do some things like where if you think, all right, I'll go and buy myself something silk, but maybe you've seen it cheap somewhere else. Let's talk about, actually, it's not even cheap, Martin's experience. What was it, 2 Christmases ago?
We sometimes, well, very often tell this little cautionary tale when we were on television. I live in Glasgow, and people in STV will know this. In Glasgow, there's two main shopping centres.
Yes.
In one of them, there's a highly reputable company. I have nothing bad to say about them at all. They make wonderful stuff, right? Martin was in there to buy a dressing gown for his mum at Christmas, and he noticed they were selling silk duvets. So he did what I tell the viewers to do. He went across and he read the label on the silk duvets. Now, for a king-size duvet, they were charging £512. Shop and TV are charging £199.
For a Super King, yeah.
Well, for a king,
oh,
£199.
was it for a king? Sorry,
£199.
yeah.
Anyway, they were charging £512. Now, when Martin read the label, in that duvet, there was only 12% silk. What they had done, a lot of companies do this, even reputable companies, they're after higher profit. So what they do, they get cotton, polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk. And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. In Britain, you can sell a duvet with as little as 10% silk in it. As long as it has 10%, you can put a label on it and call it silk. So be careful when you're buying what you think is a silk duvet.
And also,
everything we are offering this morning is made by the official Mulberry company.
Also, if you're buying anything that has a percentage of silk in it, it's not going to be full length fibre, it's going to be offcuts. Like this pillowcase is 100% silk.
100%. Everything.
Would you
we
care
sell,
to tell us about it? Well, it all is, yeah.
Well, when people come up to our stand at a live presentation, they say to me, I've read about these pillowcases, they're wonderful. Everybody's talking about them, they stop your wrinkling, don't they? Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, nothing will stop your wrinkling, unfortunately. But what you can do, you can slow the process down. Now, silk does that in no uncertain fashion. In silk, there are 18 amino acids. One of them is called sericin. You spell that S-E-R-I-C-I-N. Now, what sericin does, it retains the moisture within your skin. In other words, it keeps your skin hydrated. If you are currently sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, and this is not sales talk, it's a fact, cotton will drain the moisture from your skin. It will dry your skin out as you sleep. So for 7 or 8 hours every night, that pillowcase, cotton, is taking the moisture from your skin while you're in bed. Silk does the opposite. It traps the moisture in your skin. Ask your hairdresser what it does for your hair. If he or she is knowledgeable, they will tell you there is no static in silk, so it cuts out frizz. Totally. And if you have long hair in particular, I have 10 grandchildren, 6 boys, 4 girls. The girls, they range from 14 to 21, 22. They've all got long hair down to the waist. In years gone past, you would have to tie that hair up to stop it tangling. With silk, no problem. Now, there's one other thing I should mention about this pillowcase, which I must tell you is wonderful. There's a saying that's known, Rob, the whole world over, whichever country you go to, smooth as silk. Now, what we've done to make certain this pillowcase stays absolutely smooth, in the inside of the pillowcase, we have sprayed on a thin layer of cotton. Now, compared to silk, even the most expensive cotton is coarse. And because it's coarse, it will grip the pillow when you put the pillow within the pillowcase.
It's the non-slip
so
pillow.
It means, exactly. So it means that the silk pillow will never at any time wrinkle. And when you're waking up in the morning, you get no tram lines on your face. Now,
that's quite an expensive process to spray on that
stuff. Can I tell you, Rob, the machine that does it, you could buy a small village for what that machine costs.
I actually want to point out, Ray, is that the official Mulberry Silk manufacturing company, they are experts in bedding and sleep products, aren't they? You know,
well,
and so
when we first started off, Rob, 36, 37 years ago, we were a tiny little office in a back alley in Vancouver, and we were just starting off trying to find our feet. Now, 37 years later, we now export to 35 countries throughout the world. They all want our product, fortunately. I'm not boasting when I say this. We're really grateful for the custom. Now, the reason all these countries want our product, quality. Nothing, absolutely nothing beats quality. I would say this, you would be very fortunate to find maybe 50 shops in the whole of the United Kingdom selling silk this quality. There will be one or two, but you'd have to search for them.
And you pay a lot more than £35.
This pillowcase, Rob, to buy it in a regular shop, you'd pay well over £50 for it, easily. They're on offer this morning for £35. Just buy them. Take them and sleep on them and enjoy them, because that's exactly what you will do. You'll have so much pleasure sleeping on silk. Your head won't get hot, you won't sweat, your hair will look better, and here's the important thing.
Might save your marriage, Ray. I don't know, but seriously, I'm not making that as a claim, but
Rob,
you know.
Here's the important thing. The Saracen within the pillowcase, the magic Saracen, never washes out.
No.
We estimate this pillowcase will last at least 25 to 30 years. The silk is very strong.
£35.
The colours are lovely too.
I mean, I was joking about the marriage thing, but there is something very, I don't know, very sensual about silk, and they're so luxurious. The duvets, all of it. It's just, I don't have the benefit of a partner at the moment, but I would love. Just the thought of snuggling up in a mulberry silk laden bed with somebody would be wonderful. And actually, Caroline, our producer, has just confirmed that it's improved the quality of her relationship since she's had mulberry silk. Everything I said there is true.
I can hear her laughing.
Everything I said is true except the words. By the way, Robin says, hi, if I have oily, greasy hair, will these pillows still be good quality? Will I need to wash more often?
Yes, Robin,
yes.
Robin, I have very oily hair, actually. And I'm not just saying that, I actually have. I go swimming 4 days a week, and I wash my hair more than I should, because when I come out the water, I wash my hair 4 times a week. But I have very oily hair. Even if you have oily hair, it's not a problem. This pillow is totally washable. This one is the one I sleep on at home. It's been slept on for 17,000 hours. Just look at the condition of it. Snow white, absolutely, as close to perfection as you can possibly get. Please buy them, try them. If you don't like them, Robin, don't keep them. Send them back.
We've got a question from Ruby, and thank you for that question, Robin. By the way, that's genuinely a new question that we've not thought about or answered before. But if you're watching now and you've got mulberry silk, I'd really appreciate it. Ray would appreciate it if you would drop us a little email, studio@shopontv.co.uk, and let us know your experience. Let's hear it from you that we're actually talking the truth and not just trying to. And I don't get any commission. I mean, even if I did get commission, I would still be ethical about it. But it's not in my interest to try and get you to buy more pillows or duvets or pillowcases, because I don't make any more money as a result of it. I get paid a flat fee and that's it. And that's nowhere near what I used to charge. Ruby has this is an interesting question. I don't know genuinely don't know the answer to it. But again, we're all about transparency and openness and all that kind of thing. So Ruby says, hello. I am so captivated by tonight's presentation. I'd like to know which material is used for the supportive fibre core. Ruby loves natural fibres. Thank you very much. Amazing work. So what's the deal with the fibre core?
It's a natural fibre core that's within the inside. It's been washed in... Ruby, this might interest you. All of our silk and all of the fillings, we wash them in spring water which has been filtered. We want the fillings to be absolutely pure and pristine with no problems. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as Ray said, just buy one. I mean, do you know what? I said I was going to get stern with the ladies and gentlemen, didn't I? I do this. What did I? Huh?
Go for it, Rob.
I'm going to do it. Again, understanding understanding that I have no vested interest whatsoever in whether you buy anything tonight or not. I genuinely does not impact my life in any way, shape or form. I'm just saying that so you know. I am speaking genuinely from my heart, from my knowledge of 6 years of being a customer and a consumer of Mulberry Silk products. I have Mulberry Silk bedding on everything, and I can tell you this, unless it was somebody paid me a handsome sum, I would not sleep on or under anything else. When I go to hotels and things, I take my pillow, and if I can, because my Super King duvet will go in one side of a carry-on suitcase quite happily, I'll take my bedding with me, because the minute you go back to synthetic fibres, when you've had Mulberry Silk, it's miserable. It really is. And I mean this with love, genuinely, and I know that sounds a bit, but go throw up in a bucket if you want, but I'm telling you, I'm being honest and telling you the truth here. If you haven't got a silk duvet, well, let me put it this way. If you have only got a pillow or a duvet that is filled with any kind of feather, goose, duck, you can have the really expensive down types of feather. If it's any kind of synthetic fibre, if it's a husk, if it's recycled plastic bottles, if it's anything other than silk, and I can't think of another natural fibre, because even the, wool, the jury's out on wool, even that doesn't come close. But silk, you're not sleeping as well as you can. And you might say, oh, I sleep perfectly well, thank you very much, Rob. I'd bet good money you don't. I'll take that bet any day with anyone watching right now. You sleep with this, with a Mulberry Silk duvet under you, and you have a Mulberry Silk pillow, and if you can sleep on Mulberry Silk, all the better too. You won't wake up because of overheating, and it's not possible unless you're so resilient that your body can take extreme heat when your hollow fibre or your feather duvet gets so hot with you under it that you can just push through without waking up. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. So you are waking up in the night. You might not realise it, you might not remember it, but you are getting too hot at some point and you're taking that duvet off. And then you're going to cool down and you're going to get a little bit too cold and you're going to put the duvet back on, having woken up again. There are several layers of sleep, sort of beta and theta and gamma and I don't know, all these other, well, I'm not a scientist, but there are several layers of sleep through which you have to go in order to get the full restorative, recuperative, regenerative, healing sleep that your body and mind need for life, to live in optimum conditions. You need that sleep. Everyone does. No one's different. No one watching needs something other than that's different. And the fact is that if you keep waking up, they're 90-minute cycles. Like the whole sleep cycle, it's about 90 minutes. If you get woken up at any point in that 90-minute cycle, you can't go back to sleep and then carry on where you left off. You have to start again. So what you're doing is, and you might be lucky if, depending on the temperatures, you might get one in, but almost every single cycle is getting broken. They call it in the sleep industry toxic sleep. And it is an epidemic. It is a pandemic. The world is suffering from toxic sleep. Don't drive while tired. I drive through the night on the motorway. Sign. Don't operate heavy machinery while tired. You're asking your children to study hard at school, to take examinations that could change the course of their lives, and they're probably tired. And if they're students, especially so if they're at university, or they're getting too hot at night. I can't sleep. I'm too hot. Oh, quiet. Go to sleep. The answer, we're trying to educate here. So here's the thing, if you've got an opportunity to change your life right now and you can afford it, and the fact is you're going to replace your inferior pillow, you just are, at some point, probably several times. You're going to replace your duvet, your inferior duvet at some point. So if you're going to do that several times over and spend more in the long run than you're going to pay tonight for a pillowcase, for a pillow or for a duvet from Mulberry Silk that will last you 20, 30 or more years for most of the rest of your adult life, maybe the entire rest of your adult life. Or well into your children's, if you've got teenagers, into their middle age. You get a better quality, you get the best night's sleep you can get. Now, there are other factors like sound and light and, you know, if you're on a busy street, and you know, but there are ways you can help counteract that. But if you do all of that, we turn the light off, we, you know, maybe put some earplugs in or a mask on our faces. If you're still sleeping under inferior quality bedding, you're just not getting a proper night's sleep. And if you can make that decision right now to change your life for the better, I don't know why you wouldn't. That's up to you. If it's affordability, spread the cost on PayPal, because you're going to spend the money in the long run anyway. And if you really just think, oh, it's television, you know, whatever, rubbish, nonsense, try a pillow at least.
Rob,
try a pillow at least, and then you'll see.
We've been selling these on television for the last 37 years.
Yeah. And we're going to go back to the duvets, by the way.
I mentioned it twice already.
Yeah.
I don't know any other product. Well, I could probably mention 5, maybe 10 products that have lasted 36, 37 years in television.
Yes.
In different countries I go to. Products come, products go. This has lasted because the quality is absolutely stunning. The performance is perfection, and we give you a chance to try this with a no-nonsense money-back guarantee.
And all you've got to do
nothing to lose.
Is go to shopontv.co.uk. If you want to get it on the website, click the live on-air shop now, scroll down, you'll see all the products, select what you're going to buy, add it to your basket, go to your basket, check out. Now, choose your colours for your pillowcases. Arctic is blue. Sorry, Arctic is blue, not Arctic, that's a lorry. Desert is obviously the sandy colour. Sage is green, and white is white, which is back in stock and always the most popular. If you're going to your duvet, you're going to select the size of your duvet. Now, look, you can add it to your basket, and then you can scroll up to your basket, and then you see, I'm bored telling you already, it takes too long, right? And then you can check out securely. And then you'll come to this page, the checkout. You can sign in if you've got a Shop on TV account already. It's free to join, and there are no subscriptions or monthly fees if you wish to create an account. And you can securely store your credit card information, and you'll have an address book. You can have these things. You can send things all around the land to your friends and family. Or if you don't want to, just check out as a guest. Now, when you go to the product page, there's also a buy now button. If you just click buy now, it'll take you straight to this page. You don't have to do the whole thing of going up to your basket. Alan says, what is the I love it, what is the TOG rating of the duvet, please? Silk doesn't have a TOG rating.
There is no official TOG rating.
Although
for
some
the reason being, silk is a low conductor of heat. It manufactures heat in a different fashion to say man-made fibres, a duck, goose, a feather. To put your mind at ease, or hopefully to put your mind at ease, all I can tell you is this. People buy this duvet. We're a Canadian company, and we sell them, obviously, in Canada, a very cold country in the winter, and we sell thousands of them. Keeps you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Nobody knows why. It's a freak of nature. Mother Nature, she's the only person that knows how this is possible. But you'll find people who go mountaineering. You'll find all of their clothing, if they buy good quality clothing, it's all lined with silk. The tents are lined with silk. The sleeping bags are lined with silk. And people who live in hot countries like India, all the women who can afford it wear silk. Yeah. Because it keeps you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. So please put your mind at ease. If you make the decision to spend some money tonight and buy one of our products, all we're asking you to do, I keep stressing this, is try it.
Actually, I'm thinking if you've got if maybe you do the Airbnb thing, or if you've got a guest house or something like that, I mean, your customers, I imagine, will be coming back very frequently when they try your new bedding. But also, you can wash it regularly, the pillows and the duvet, so it's more clean that way. Eleanor, thank you very much for this message. I'm going to preface this by saying we can't prove that this will or won't work for you. We're not claiming in any way, shape or form that this is a benefit. We can't make any claims about silk because we've not tested the specific pillowcases, for example, for efficacy based on the qualities of silk that are proven. But what I always say, go check out what's the benefits of silk, the proven benefits of silk, and they're pure 100% silk. So, I mean, but this is what Eleanor says, that I always struggled with acne I assume that was acne when growing up, and my GP suggested changing my pillowcase to silk. I'll never go back. Huge difference for me.
That's interesting.
Hey, I mean, you know, worth a try. Again, we have no data at all on how effective that might be.
6 or 7 or 8 years ago, over a period of about 6 months, Rob. I didn't read the article myself, but customers told me about it. They had read this article from different parts of the country. Different people told me about this. In Australia, they set up a test with a skin specialist, and they gave 100 women a silk pillowcase to sleep on for 3 months. And the skin specialist, after 3 months, he examined the skin and he told them which side of the bed they were, which side of the side they were sleeping on.
Because they could tell
because of the benefits of the skin.
Amazing. Again, anecdotal, but still. By the way, here are a couple of some of the customers have emailed, and as we requested. Tony and Gil, hi, Gil or Jill, it may very well be. Apologies, it probably is Jill. We purchased the Mulberry Silk Duvet last year and have just recently purchased the pillows. All information you give is 100% correct. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Then, good morning, Rob. I bought the pillow and the duvet, and I love them both. I now do not sweat at night and have a great night's sleep. That was Neil from Exmouth in Devon. And we have an anonymous email here, but they say, I suffer from allergies and struggle with sleep every night. I can only sleep around 3 hours each night. Do you think this pillow will help with that?
Yes.
I mean, pillow and duvet, absolutely. I mean, it can't hurt. Yeah.
What's that gentleman's name?
That was it was anonymous, actually.
No, it was anonymous.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Rob and Ray. It's John from Glasgow. I love the way he spells in a Scottish accent. I've got the double duvet, he says, and single, and 2 pillows and 2 different silk pillowcases. Best money that you can pay. Rob, I do the same as you, and your son in the winter, it's superb. Thanks. Oh, saving on the heating, thanks for bringing this to Shop on TV, and thanks Shop on TV as well. Really appreciate that. Just one more. This is from Chris. Hi, I'm writing this on behalf of my husband. Thanks so much for the information, and I wanted to ask temperature regulation with the duvet. I get very hot in the night and my partner gets cold. Oh, you've come to the right place, Chris. Or Chris's missus. Will the silk duvet help us both have regular temperatures? That's exactly the main thing it does.
Well, unfortunately, I apologise, I forgot to mention this. Silk self-regulates. 9 times out of 10, when 2 people share a bed, one likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm. In my house, my wife, even in the winter, and we live in Glasgow, and it is a little bit colder the further north you go.
Yeah.
Even in the winter, she would have the windows slightly open in the bedroom because she likes fresh air in the bedroom. I would have the window closed. I like a hot bed. She likes a cold bed. Well, we can both sleep under this duvet and be perfectly comfortable because it self-regulates. So I should have mentioned that.
I think we have. It's so hard because people tune in at different times, and we've probably said everything, but you might not have been watching at the time that we said it. But this is one of the biggest benefits. My parents, I remember they used to have separate duvets of different top ratings.
A lot of people do.
A lot of people, but now you don't need to. And also,
in fact, Rob, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you go right ahead.
That happened to me just a few weeks ago. A lady came up to me. She said, I bought one of your duvets. She said, I've watched you in television, she said, and I've seen you at exhibitions. I've been watching you for 2 or 3 years. She said, and I suddenly bought one. She said, my husband, he sweats like a racehorse in bed. She said, and it was terrible. She said, I got to the stage I was going to buy 2 separate duvets. She thought, well, you offered a money-back guarantee, nothing to lose. I'll buy a duvet and try it. If I don't like it, you can have it back. She said, it's absolutely wonderful. In fact, I've come back to buy 2 pillows. And can I tell you, Rob, that happens all the time.
I bet it does.
All of our products, we have our contact information on all of our products. We want you to know where to find us because 35 to 40% of all the sales we get are repeat customers. People buy, say, a pillow to try it. And all of a sudden, maybe it could be 2 years from then, they think, I'll try a duvet. That's where you find us. All of our products, that information.
Tell us about the
there.
show you do every year, the camping show.
Oh, we love camping. I really love caravanners. They're really nice people. We exhibit at every major caravan show in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
We have done for 67 years, and for 37 of those years, we've been selling silk duvets. Now, in the summer months, these caravan shows are usually held Friday, Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend. And people come in their motorhome, their caravan, say on a Friday afternoon. Put their awning out, get all the bits and pieces out, the table, chairs, get the children organised, get the dog organised, then have a walk around the trade stands. Now, very often, not very often, but occasionally, I get a couple up and they say, you know, I'm not sure if I want one. And I say, take it, pay for it, take it, try it, sleep under it tonight in your motorhome or caravan. If you don't like it, tuck it under your arm, bring it back in the morning, I'll give you your money back. Now, given that choice, Rob, an awful lot of people buy one.
Yeah, sure.
Right,
sure.
Now the next morning, say they buy it on a Friday, next morning, Saturday, 30–40% of those people do come back to buy a second duvet. They sleep under this for one night, and immediately the duvet they've slept under for maybe 10, 12 years, it's in the past.
It's in the landfill.
It's in the landfill.
Yeah, sadly,
Don't forget that figure, ladies and gentlemen. 5 million duvets end up in landfill every year because they're inferior quality.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is approaching 2 a.m. So, well, it is 2 actually. So I just want to say 40% of our stock for the pillows has gone. Now, this was kind of a sneaky little extra show we're doing tonight. In a week or two, we've got a very, like a midnight, very early, 19th into the 20th, I think it is. And that will be very, very busy. No, I have to get the date. It's coming up anyway. So get it now while you can. Oh, I was right. It is the 19th. I gave you the correct date, and our producer said, "Oh no, it's not that." And then it turns out it was. Excellent. Thank God we're training Izzy tonight.
So I'm back here on the 19th to the 20th. Yes.
Yes. They'll confirm it with you at some point.
I'm going to my son Martin, who runs the business.
Yes.
I'm going to mention to him I'd like some payment, please.
Yes, absolutely. It's about speaking of payments. Let's help raise wages by buying yourself a duvet. Here are the prices: £139 for the single, £179 for the double, £199 for the king, and £219 for the super king. Big discount compared to what they used to be sold for. But look, yes, I know that these are not the duvets, the cheap duvets that you're going to buy from the local supermarket. By the way, nearly a quarter of the stock of the duvets gone. But the fact is that these are going to last you for decades, potentially. I want to say also that a couple of things here. Given that, let me just try and think of the relevant ones. Oh, yes. Given that Ray is offering you an unconditional money-back guarantee on everything. You can buy a pillow, and if you don't like it, within 30 days you contact RK Sales. Again, every single product has a label with their contact information on there, and you'll get your money back. The most it will cost you is £4.95 P&P, because obviously Ray doesn't pay the P. You know, we have to pay the postman. Ray's not taking that money.
Next day delivery.
Next day delivery. So if those, let's say, if these were rubbish, and out of 86,000 pillows in the first year, not 19 individual pillows were sent back, but loads of them. Ray's not running out to the washing machine, giving them a quick rinse, and then repackaging them and sending them out.
We can by law.
You can't by law. You have to destroy them.
Rob, if we get a pillow returned, we have
duvet.
Or a duvet. We have any bedding product.
Or a mattress, anything, yeah.
We have to destroy it.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, to give you an example, I live in a small village 6 miles from the centre of Glasgow.
Yeah.
It's a conservation village, and I've lived there for 40-odd years.
Yeah.
Now, there's only 1,700 people in the village where I live, and we tend to know one another. We still nod to one another and give a wave as we pass in the street.
Yeah.
And I go to the local supermarket, and I was in there, and the lady who was taking the money off me, she said, I saw you on television last night selling those pillows. She said, are they any good? I burst out laughing. I said, of course, they're excellent. We sell lots of them. She said, well, could you bring me 2 in? I said, well, you sell pillows in here, 2 for £10.
Yeah.
Why don't you buy them? She said, oh, she says, the girls in here know we mustn't buy them. They're absolute rubbish. But the point I'm making, Rob, this was a giant supermarket. They have probably 1,000 of these supermarkets, this company all over Britain. And they were selling this rubbish. That's why 10 million pillows go into landfill every year.
Yeah.
Now, when you take a pillow back,
yeah,
they won't give you your money back.
Apparently, even the dogs' homes won't take them now.
The cat and dog. They used to say the Salvation Army won't take them.
No.
The charity shops won't take them. So they used to say take them to the cat and dog home. But even the cat and dog homes won't take them anymore because there's so many of them being sent back.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
Can you imagine 10 million pillows? Now, it could be 15
ludicrous.
million.
How's it all going to fit?
They're saying minimum 10 million.
By the way, somebody just bought a mattress pad. We do have on the website, if you want Mulberry Silk under you as well, which is a mattress pad filled with Mulberry Silk, we do have one. It's a 5-inch mattress topper, and you get elastic gussets that hold it under the, or elastic, what do they call them? Ties, I suppose. So that this is great because it will go on top of your existing mattress.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to sort of go and throw the whole mattress away. We've only got 3 of the sizes. No, we don't. Sorry, we haven't got king. But just to bring your attention to that, if you want to get it, you can. Well, obviously not in the king size though. Anything else? What is available? Hang on, let's just check. Are we just about to find out that nothing's available? Oh, the Super King's available. Okay, good. Ray, well, let's start from the beginning, shall we? For those who've just tuned in and like, oh, what's this all about? Well, first of all, you're watching Shop on TV. My name is Rob, and just to give you something, just to give you something that you weren't expecting.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'll waken people up.
And on that bombshell, tell us about Mulberry Silk.
Mulberry Silk. Well, why should people buy it? Total comfort, hygiene, the fact that it's going to last you a long time. It's an all-weather duvet. You don't need one for the winter and one for the summer. When we're doing a live presentation, every single person, when they come up to our stand...
Some would say we're doing that now.
Yeah, and they touch it like this and they say, you know, I'm not sure, this is very thin. They get a shock, actually, Rob. It is very thin.
It is very thin.
But don't confuse bulk with warmth.
That's what I say to all the ladies.
Rob, don't confuse bulk with warmth, because with silk, you don't need the bulk. Silk is a low conductor of heat. It retains heat in a different fashion to man-made fibres, duck, goose, or feather. There's only 2 parts to this duvet: the top cover and the filling within the top cover. The top cover, Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Any thread count over 180 is considered to be luxury, so there's no problem with the top cover. The filling within the top cover is AAA grade Mulberry Silk, nothing else. There are no inferior fibres mixed in. Everything we are offering this morning is made by the official Mulberry Silk company.
Can I just clear up some confusion here? We were showing the pillow details and the video of the mattresses. No, not the mattresses. What do they call them again? The duvets. We also thought we were talking about duvets, so apologies. We'll get our ducks in a row, but carry on where you were.
Where was I? Duvets or pillows?
Caroline, what are we doing? Pillows.
Caroline?
That's a totally different setup and story.
Caroline, you'll have to...
We're going to have to charge you extra,
You'll have to stay off the cooking, Sherry, Caroline. You'll just have to give it up. So what are we talking about, Rob? Pillows. Pillows, OK.
I didn't hear, Caroline. I'm sorry, Caroline, we didn't hear you say about pillows.
Pillows, Caroline.
Can I, you were just, I want to pick, here's a little transition just to make everything nice again. You were talking about, all these are very thin. Have a look at this, folks, right? This is a cocoon.
Yeah.
Right? There are thousands of these in your pillows and duvets.
2,000 at least in every pillow.
Now, if you want to take I don't know how Paul's going to get a shot of this, but because...
It's on my finger there.
But I want you to see something. Look how thin they are. Now, you know what? They are blooming strong.
Yeah.
In there is it used to live, a silkworm as
Yeah.
it was turning, metamorphosing into a moth. Now, you find these in China, where there is huge variance in weather. It can be very, very cold at night, very, very warm during the day. They have monsoons and all kinds of crazy weather, you know, very dry, incredible heat or humidity, I mean, who knows what. Plus loads and loads of bugs that are all trying to eat what's inside. Now, can you just look closely in there again? Can you see, is there a radiator or an air conditioner? No, no boiler in there. Combi boiler, no Wi-Fi. Look, if it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside, inside that cocoon, it stays exactly the right temperature, Rob, for the worm.
And
dry.
If the temperature varies, cold-wise, even 2%, the worm dies. So
Yeah.
when I say it self-regulates,
It really does. Right, so you said when these are basically soaked and they float off in one thing.
Place that in tepid water.
Yes, and it unravels.
And all the silk floats off in one piece.
So, and then you weave, because they're very thin, you weave them into fibres, don't you?
What we do, in the pillow, we tell you exactly what's in the pillow.
Yeah.
If you cut it open, in the middle you have a pocket of fibre.
Yes.
To give you support for your neck and shoulders.
Sure.
Now, all the way around that, you have layer after layer after layer of long fibre silk.
How many miles roughly?
Each strand is over 1 mile long.
Yes.
Now, there's roughly 2,500 of those cocoons in every pillow.
And each cocoon's made into
About a mile
one
to a mile and a half of fibre of silk.
So they're wound around, aren't they?
Yeah.
So several of these make one fibre.
10 strands on average.
Right, for one fibre.
Right.
And then how many miles in there? How many miles in a pillow?
At least 15 miles.
15 miles in a pillow?
Once it's all tidied up together.
Ooh.
Now, the top covers Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count.
Yes.
The filling is mulberry silk.
Jam, no.
The advantage of sleeping in this pillow, your head won't get hot. It'll wick away moisture, 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. Your hair won't tangle just as easy as it normally does. Now, the reason this pillow I have in my lap, this is the one I sleep on at home. It's 6 years old. It's been slept on by me for roughly 17, perhaps 18,000 hours. It's been washed at least 20 to 25 times. When you wash it, it will not and it cannot lose shape. Now, the reason I bring this pillow with me is quite simple. I can hold it up to the camera. I can say to any viewer who's perhaps thinking of buying a pillow or two tonight, or this morning, I should say, ask yourself this simple question. The pillow you have at home doesn't look as good as this. Has it been washed 25 times? Are you enjoying sleeping on it? And I think the answer is probably no.
No.
This pillow, you can only buy it from two people, from myself or from Shop and TV. Shop and TV buy them from me. Now, the buyers here at Shop and TV are really professional, tough negotiators. They know their job. They buy very large quantities at a very special low price, and they pass the saving on to the viewer. Ladies and gentlemen, Shop and TV, I can assure you, they're not a greedy company. They work on skinny margins. I charge for this pillow, one pillow, £60 and £5 postage. That is the true value of this pillow. Shop and TV are letting you have them today, this morning, for £40. My advice is for you should buy them. Remember, when you buy it, if you're not thrilled with it, we will refund your money. No arguing, no fighting on the telephone, instant refund. Here's the final thing I'll mention. I judge the success of any product we sell on television, not on how many we sell, but on how many we get returned when we offer a money-back guarantee. In the first 13 months we sold this pillow to the public, we sold 86,000 pillows here in the United Kingdom. We got 19 returned, 19.
So Caroline, who's been very diligent with her digits, has just worked out, like most companies, most retail companies, if they had a 1% return rate, they'd be happy as pigs in blankets.
The average return rate is 65% for pillows.
Right. Well, so 1% you'd have had 860 back. For 20%, you'd have had 17,000 back. And I mean, you've had 19 individual pillows.
If we had 17,000 back, we'd be out of business.
Right. Exactly.
Because it's in our interest to manufacture a product that you want to keep once you've bought it.
Well, you'd be out of business as well if they were rubbish, because everyone would send them back and you wouldn't be able to, you know. Callum, hi Callum, how are you? It says, just bought a king-size Mulberry Silk Duvet, and guys, I'm really looking forward to using it. Callum, I'm always really excited. I consider this to be a bit of an exclusive Mulberry Silk club, those who are in the know, you know what I mean? It's almost like, I think of it as like James Bond bedding, you know, yes. It'll give you a thrill. You'll be shaken but not stirred. Not officially endorsed by James Bond, Ion Productions, or Amazon, by the way. So yeah, I think you'll absolutely love it. Now, we have another email. You're going to love this. We have another email from a customer in Anglesey. Now, I'm just going to say, I'm saying this purely, I'm reading this as you've sent it, purely because it's of the humour value. I really appreciate you took the time to send us this email, and I thank you for it, and I'll have whatever you're having. So they say, "Hawululu. I have Nilvert Silk Dicer. Love it. Washed 20 runes, so cosy." From Matthew. And can I just say, Matthew, I'd invest in in a spell check for your phone, but no, seriously, I hope you don't mind. It was just really, it tickled me. But thank you very much, and it is 20 times, no problems at all. Watch it as much as you like.
As often as you want.
Thank you for being a customer.
Rob,
we really love it.
The Anglesey Agricultural Show, we've exhibited there for many years.
Have you really?
Yeah, we do on average 90 to 100 shows every year, all over Britain. We go back to the same show year in, year out. And I mentioned earlier, when I'm booking a stand, when I'm speaking to the exhibition organizer, I always insist we have exactly the same location. So the public know where to find me when they come to the show. Because 35 to 40% of all our sales are repeat business. People perhaps buy a duvet, 3-4 years later they come up for another duvet or a couple of pillows or some pillow slips, so they know where to find us. So ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself this question. We've been going to the same shows for 67 years. We've been selling silk for 37 of those 67 years. Surely to goodness that'll tell you something about the quality of this product.
Well, let's go over it again. So Mulberry Silk, what is it? Why is it so gosh darn good?
It's really, well, how we get the silk. We take the silkworm, place it in a large metal tray, place the tray containing the worm into a darkened room. Keep it there for 35, 36 days. Feed the worm exclusively in mulberry leaves. It will eat 10,000 times its own body weight in mulberry leaves.
It's me tomorrow night.
And its body weight will increase tenfold. After 35, 36 days, it spits this little cocoon off. I have one on my finger. Now we place that cocoon in tepid water, and all the silk floats off in one piece. Now we feed the worm on mulberry leaves, but there's 3 different colors of mulberry leaves: red, black, and white. If you feed the worm in the red and black leaf, Rob, you get very high quality mulberry silk.
Yeah, sure.
If, however, you feed it on the white mulberry leaf, you take a jump up. You get the highest, the best, AAA grade mulberry. That's what's in here. Read the label, it will tell you that. You're buying from the official mulberry company. No inferior fibers mixed in. When you buy this duvet, consider it to be an investment. It's an all-weather duvet. You don't need one for the winter, a different one for the summer. The duvets we have in my bed at home are 37 years old. Haley and Sean, who are presenters here on this show, bought a duvet from me at the Ideal Home exhibition. They were total strangers. They were working for Tefal. I didn't know them. They came up to my stand, bought a duvet from me 27, 28 years ago. They're still sleeping under it today.
And that they've got pillows too.
Yeah.
And 45% of the pillows have gone.
Everybody loves it, Rob.
By the way, who was asking about sitcoms earlier? And I said Blackadder. I forgot. My producer, Joe, my producer just reminded me. How could I forget Red Dwarf as well, of course? Because Caroline just said, there's an announcement. An announcement's happening, and which is a Red Dwarf thing. So we're going to go on to the pillowcases next,
right.
Ray, if we may. Please check out. If you don't, then you will. And thank God it's only an announcement and not an alert. Otherwise, we'll have to change the bulb. Please check out. If you don't check out, you're not gonna benefit from all of these amazing properties. Look, I know we are. First of all, we are in official partnership with ITV and STV. So, you know, we're here, we don't buy the airtime and just like infomercials and things like that where they just buy the commercial time and just sell you whatever they want to sell you. We're actually, I think of us as your official shopping show on ITV and STV every night between midnight and 3 a.m, almost every single day of every single week, only down about 4 or 5 days a year depending on what ITV, like Oscars and football, there'll be a lot of football in June. But the point I'm trying to make is that this is a company, yes, it is a for-profit company. Shop on TV does want to make money, it wants to be in business, and we rely on your business, and we do that in the way that good businesses do. We provide you with fantastic products and fantastic service at very, very reasonable prices. We make some money, you get some, you save some money, everyone's happy, right? But honestly and truly, there's a reason I don't ever present any other pillow or bedding product on Shop on TV, and didn't at the previous place I worked with Ray as well. Because everybody knows that I'm the Mulberry Silk guy. And there is nothing better, there is no better duvet or pillow or mattress or pillowcase that I've tried in the last 30 years. And look, as a presenter, and although I'm predominantly an actor and an entertainment presenter, I've still done transactional television for a lot of my professional life. And I can tell you for a fact that they line up round the block to suppliers to let me try products because they want to get them on telly. Because and there's no sort of myth here. I'll give you an example. We had Coopers of Stortford on the other night. They sold in one night on one particular product more than they would have done in 2 months through their catalogue. In fact, we sold out half of their entire season's catalogue stock in one evening.
I can believe that.
So this is why...
They're a good company.
They're a very good company, very good. So this is why everyone wants to be on telly, especially on ITV. We're not just a dedicated cable and satellite channel. This is ITV1 and STV. So the point I'm trying to make is I've slept under everything. I've slept on everything, from the weirdest, wackiest things that sound good on paper, marketing, you know, and it's all... There is some good stuff, some decent stuff at least. But I will never endorse any other bedding unless, Ray, somebody by some miracle comes along with something better than silk.
Well, Rob, I go to virtually every major trade show in Europe and China, America, Canada, not selling to the public, to the trade.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I can assure you, if I could find better products than this, I would be attempting to sell them. Of all these trade shows I go to, where all the companies are together competing, I can't find any pillow, any duvet better than this. And I must tell you, the public, they buy our products and they fall in love with them. And they really do. I mean, I just can't stress how often people come up to me, and this is what they say. They say, you know, I've seen you in television, I've seen you at this show, that show, this show, that show. And I watch you, and all of a sudden they buy one. And maybe a couple of years later, they come up to me, they say, you know, you were right. The duvets are wonderful. And then they all say the same thing, Rob. They say, I wish I had bought it years ago. So if there's anybody watching this morning who's a little bit undecided, remember, we're not asking you to keep this. If you don't like it, we are saying you can have your money back. No arguing. No fighting on a telephone. One telephone call, instant refund. Simple as that. So if you're sitting in the fence, a little bit undecided, take the jump. This will keep you warm in the winter, cool in the summer. Wash it as often as you want. dust mite free. That's not Raymond saying that. That's not Rob saying it. That's the United Kingdom Allergy Board. There's the Allergy Board certificate. No other silk duvet in Britain has that.
Yeah.
Our silk is pure. It's been processed in a fashion. It's 100%
And not just
pure.
the duvet, but obviously we're actually talking about the pillowcases, or we've got the details of the pillowcases on this, but all your silk. And also, it just occurred to me, if in China and India, where silk is the sort of the chosen fabric, how can that's got to be a third of the world's population, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aren't they billions of people in China?
90% of all the silk in the world comes from China.
Yeah.
China, the silk was discovered in China roughly 5,000 years ago. Legend has it, I'm not sure if this is correct, but legend is the key word.
Yeah.
The Yellow Emperor's wife was in the garden with her lady friends having tea, and one of the little cocoons like this dropped from a tree into her teacup, and the silk started to unravel. And obviously she was quite a clever lady, and she saw some potential in this silk, and they started to weave it. And that's apparently how silk was discovered. 5,000
It's not
years
been verified,
ago.
but
No,
it's
not
probably,
been
but it's a nice story.
It's a nice story, isn't
Stu
it?
says, I've had my Super King Mulberry Silk Duvet for years. It's the best investment I've ever made. Loving it. Thank you, Stu. A quarter of the stock of the pillowcases across the board now has gone. Do you want to give us a little rundown on the pillowcases and why we should be getting one of those as well?
Well, if you have any...
You've got 4 minutes, Ray. Go.
If you have any member of your family who takes a pride in their appearance, who wants their hair to look good, who wants the skin to look good, buy for that person, man or woman, a silk pillowcase. Now, people get a shock when they come up to my stand. They say to me, these pillowcases, they're getting a lot of publicity. They stop your wrinkling, don't they? No, they don't. Nothing stops your wrinkling, nothing. Eventually, your skin will lose its elasticity and you will wrinkle. But what you can do, you can slow the process down. Now, silk does that in no uncertain fashion. In silk, there's 18 amino acids. One of them is called sericin. What sericin does, it traps the moisture within your skin. In other words, it keeps your skin hydrated as you sleep. If you're sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, cotton does the opposite. It draws the moisture from your skin and dries your skin out. And that's when your skin starts to wrinkle quickly, when your skin is dry. Ask your hairdresser what it does for your hair. There's no static in silk, so it cuts out frizz totally. And if you have long hair in particular, you don't have to tie it up at night. Now, the interesting thing, this pillowcase has silk. You might laugh when I say this. It has silk in both sides, because quite a lot of people have mentioned to me recently, they've bought pillowcases on the internet in particular. When they've been delivered, they've only got silk in one side. One lady mentioned to me recently, she paid £47.50 for a pillowcase for her niece as a gift. When it was delivered, it only had silk in one side.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, these have got
just
silk
cheap,
in both sides. Now, on the
Budget pillowcase.
inside of the pillowcase, this is very, very important. On the inside of the pillowcase, what we have done, we have sprayed on a very thin layer. You can hardly see it, but it's there. You can hardly see it, of cotton. Now, compared to silk, cotton is coarse. Even the most expensive cotton is coarse compared to silk. Now, the reason we have put that inside the pillowcase, when you put the pillow into the pillowcase, the cotton, because it's coarse, will grip the pillow, and it will keep the silk on the outside smooth as silk. So when you're waking up in the morning, you get no tram lines on your face. It's absolutely wonderful. I have no hesitation in saying, if you were lucky enough to find a shop anywhere in Britain selling pillowcases this quality, you'd pay around about £50, £55 for them. They're on sale here in the most beautiful colours for £35. They're sold with a money-back guarantee. The sericin within the silk never washes out, and we reckon this pillowcase will last you minimum 25 years.
Sorry, Ray, I'm just reading an email here. You're going to love this. Phyllis, well, this not this one. Phyllis says, hi Phyllis, how are you? Hi, Rob Lock with me. Enjoying the show, and you made me laugh. You did not think Matthew from Anglesey was a greeting? Hello? No, well, you know. Apparently, apparently in Welsh, HYWL is hello in Welsh. Is that right? Is that right? I didn't know that. Now you see, that's me getting burned for being a smart Alec.
Well, Rob,
so there you go.
You know, there's so many different dialects and like all over the country. I remember when I was a very young boy and I used to go to Aberdeen. I was 16, 17. I was attempting to sell stuff. And in Aberdeen, they used to come up to me and whatever I was selling, they say, "Fits it day?" And I used to say, "Yes, it's a lovely day." But what they were saying was, "What does it do?" They put an F where the W should be. Fits it day.
Yeah. I think some of it was definitely
easy to get mixed up.
Spell check definitely,
Rob,
but I take it. Listen, if I take as good as I give, so that's fair dues. You're going to love this. So hi, Rob and Ray. My two favourite chunky hunks on TV.
Chunky hunks.
I thought it was chunky unks, but it's chunky hunks. Love your personalities. I have the entire... This is Anne said. Hi, Anne, how are you? I have the entire range of Mulberry Silk products and adore them. I do not use any other bedding now. What is the correct washing powder or liquid to use? I purchased 4 pairs of pillow slips, but when I washed a pair using biological powder, the sheen and silkiness isn't there anymore. I have 2 pairs waiting to be washed and don't want them to go the same way. So what would you recommend? Obviously not biological.
The one you always recommend is a good one.
Well, I use just a gel. I use aerial gel. Others are available, obviously. But you can use powder, but obviously non-biological by the sounds of it. But yes, for whitening...
That gentleman, the pillowcase he's washed and it's lost the sheen. Now, if it's one of ours and you're not delighted with it, pop it in the post, we'll replace it.
Oh, there you go.
Doesn't matter how long you've had it.
Well, go to their website and contact them first so they know that they're returning it.
They just want you to be happy.
Oh, that's really... See, told ya. But yeah, if you... with the duvets or the pillows, if they have discoloured a little bit from sweat or, you know, a dribble or a stain or something, you can't use the oxy powders with them. They're a bit too harsh on silk. But there is, I know Vanish make one that I'm sure others do as well, but I know the one I buy is, and it's a Vanish whitening gel that is rated to be safe for use on silk, and it's great. Just a capful of that in your wash as well, and it brings them up really beautiful. But actually, just regular powder or tablet or gel, which you pop in the machine, I find they whiten when I lay them on top of my, because the pillow takes about 45 minutes to dry. Flip it halfway through.
Well, silk does dry quickly.
Duvets even less, but they seem to get whiter as they dry.
Talking about silk drying quickly, we haven't mentioned this. If any viewer watching has a member of their family who unfortunately is bedbound. Now, people who are bedbound, obviously, they sleep in bed, they have their hair washed in bed, they have the body washes, little accidents happen. So you can take this duvet off of the pillow, you can pop it in the machine, you can wash it quickly, it'll dry it quickly in the dryer, and you can have it back in the bed within a couple of hours, pillow or duvet, because silk does dry very quickly. So you don't have to pay 25, 30 pounds to have the duvet dry cleaned or the pillow. And can I just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do tonight, if you're still awake and listening to Rob and myself, treat yourself the very worst way to a couple of pillows.
We are the chunky hunks.
Best thing. Well, I'm less chunky than I used to be.
And I'm chunky. I've put a bit on, actually, the last 3 weeks has
my
been a
granddaughter
disaster.
says I'm pleasantly plump now. I used to say, you used to be fat, Grandad, and now you're pleasantly plump.
I like to think of myself as cuddly.
Pleasantly plump.
Ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to spend the rest of the show on the duvets. We are still live now, unless you're watching on ITV1 +1 or STV +1. By the way, if you've just tuned in and you've missed it all, go to ITV1 or STV +1, or you can go to YouTube. Or actually, even better still, if you're I suppose STV have got a player, but ITVX as well. You can go to the live and just rewind the show. Freeview 89, we're live on there, but that's standard definition, so I wouldn't do that. Unless, of course, you're watching on Sky or cable, in which case it will be all right. We're everywhere. You just can't, wherever you turn, you can't get rid of us.
We should just remind people again,
Yes.
because of this duvet wicks away moisture, you know, 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. Any lady going through the menopause, don't think twice. Buy yourself one of these duvets. As far as your sleep is concerned, I promise you, it will change your life. You'll have the most beautiful night's sleep. You won't have these hot and cold sweats. You won't be throwing the duvet off in the middle of the night. Just try it. If you don't like it, it's not like a husband. You're not married to it. You don't have to keep it. You can simply send it back and you'll have a refund. If you share a bed with a partner who overheats, this is the duvet for you. If you share a bed, one person likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm, it self-reflects, this is the duvet for you. It's so different to ordinary duvets. It's not an ordinary duvet. You can buy ordinary duvets in any shop in the United Kingdom. You can only buy this particular duvet from Shop and TV and from myself. We don't supply. Do you know why we don't supply shops? Well, I'll tell you why, Rob. This might surprise you. This is why we don't supply shops. Normally, when you manufacture, let's say, a duvet like this, when it's ready to be sold to the public, you take it to a distributor who will then sell it to a wholesaler, who will then sell it to the shopkeeper or the retailer. That's 3 different people. Each one of those people will add on a margin of profit for themselves. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just trying to make an honest living. We've eliminated those 3 people. In every country, and we trade in 35 countries, in every country we only have one partner. In Britain, it's Shop and TV. They buy very large quantities at a very special price, right? And because we've eliminated the 3 people, we can keep the price low. The buyers here work in very tight margins, so now you can basically buy champagne for the price of beer. You are getting a product which you would normally pay, I would say, for a decent quality, 100% pure silk duvet. You're going to spend 120, 30, 40 pounds more than you would not get from Shop and TV.
This is how we get to the £500 in the department store in Glasgow.
That's just ridiculous.
But actually, it goes even further than that because, I mean, sometimes there's an agent, then there's a distributor, you know, an agent to get the product into the distributor. But also with retail, bricks and mortar retail, there are slotting fees. So depending on where your product's going to be shown, because prime position, it's going to sell better than if it's down the bottom, right up the top. Aisle. And the end caps, that's right. Cooperative advertising, when you see a department store advertising on television or hear them on radio or see them in print.
They don't pay for it,
no,
you pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. And the suppliers charge for that. Less than half the stock of the pillow remaining now. Please check out. I don't want you to check out because we just want your money. I mean, I'm sure the company would be very appreciative of your money.
I wouldn't be angry.
No, we're not going to be angry. No, I'm not. But I want you to check out because I want you to sleep better. Have I not made this clear, ladies and gentlemen? To be totally condescending and obnoxious, you're going to sleep better. Who doesn't want that? Now, I mean, but it's true. It is true.
Well, you know,
there's our website. Click that banner.
A good night's sleep. I'm stating the obvious.
Stick it in your basket.
A good night's sleep. Next day, obviously you feel better. You function better. It's just a very nice thing to have a proper night's sleep. And one of the main reasons that silk is special, you simply don't overheat under it. Overheating is the problem when people go to bed at night. They're waking up in the middle of the night, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Silk lets your body breathe. It's a natural fibre. Warm in the winter, cool in the summer, dust mite free, money back if you're not pleased. You have nothing to lose by trying this product.
You know, I'm a big advocate of I've realised over the years, and so I'm a big advocate of saying that the most expensive is not always the best. It can be, and this is by no means the most expensive duvet or pillow or pillowcase, but no, it isn't a £9.99 or a £5 jobby or a 30. I mean, when we moved into the crew house, when we first moved our studios to Manchester, we went to a very famous bedding shop where one might have very pleasant or sweet, you know. Great shop. Just bought my new beds from there. But and because when we first moved into the crew house, we didn't have any bedding, so we bought how many? There was a producer room, a director room, my room, and floor managers. And so we each bought for each member of the crew a pillow, and we were recommended we didn't go premium, but one of their sort of better hollow fibre. That's all they had was hollow fibre, and I think they were about £20 each. Yeah. And then we've got a slightly more premium duvet. Again, not the most I mean, their hollow fibre synthetic duvets were up to, you know, pushing on 3 figures, but I think we spent about £40 on the duvets. And then we'd already ordered, do you remember all the Mulberry Silk stuff from you? So pillows, mattresses,
well,
you brought them down with you a day or two later.
Yes.
And I know my CEO's not watching now. He got very upset when I was honest about this once before. We slept with those hollow fibre duvets and pillows for, I think, 1 or 2 nights. And then that was the last time we ever used them. Well, and actually they went in the bin.
You know, it's an interesting thing, Rob. I recently, 3 or 4 weeks ago, had to stay in a hotel I was sharing a room with my son Martin. We was normally I take my pillow with me, but it was somebody, friend of mine, it was a funeral actually, and I had to rush down quickly. We were staying in a hotel at Gatwick Airport, and we were sharing 2 single beds, and we were sleeping under polyester duvets.
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning, Martin said to me, "Dad, are you awake?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "So am I." He said, "It's terrible." He said, "Dad, you don't realise how good these silk duvets we sell are until you actually start sleeping under polyester again."
Oh, it shows you how much you put up with, how much you tolerate.
Yeah.
And this is you at home now, unless you've got Mulberry Silk already. You're tolerating. You're not sleeping under optimum conditions.
Well, Martin's 40 odd years old now, and we've been sleeping under these at our house for 37 years since he was a young boy. Yeah. And when he went into this hotel and was back under polyester, he couldn't get to sleep.
Well, you know my son David.
Yes,
he was 20.
Well. He's a nice boy.
He's
David.
A very nice boy. 23 he turned on April 4th, so just a few days ago. And so he's a young lad, and 6. So you know he would have been 17 when I first got Mulberry Silk.
Yeah.
And when we moved into the new house, and I promised him, because I'd sort of pilfered bits of Mulberry Silk, I've given some away to friends, and you know some I was you know moving to the house in Warrington, or you know for whatever reason, I promised that I'd get all new Mulberry Silk bedding. I've never seen a person of that age get so excited over the prospect of just having new bedding. Because he won't sleep under anything else either. He hates it.
Well, you know, it's a simple fact. I think most people know silk is special, Rob.
Yeah.
It's not an ordinary, I mean, it's special.
It is. It is a luxury commodity, fabric, textile.
On this occasion, it's luxury at an affordable price. That's the key to what we are selling here. We're not asking you an outlandish price for the quality that's available. This is quality that you'll find very hard to get in any shop in the United Kingdom. Obviously, there will be 1 or 2 shops, but you'd have to go a long way to find them, you know. And
also, and again, be careful. It goes back to that whole marketing thing. Check if you're not buying from us because for whatever reason you just can't get over the hump of, I don't know, whatever that hump might be. But hopefully at least the information we've given you will make you realise you need to do something if you're sleeping under hollow fibre, synthetic fibres or feather. Just beware, because always check on the label what the percentage of silk is. Is it full length, full fibre? Is it mulberry silk? Because there are inferior silks as well, aren't there? Right?
You get Tussa silk. Yeah. You get raw silk.
And are they just not very good?
You know, and another thing, in a duvet, there's roughly, say a king duvet, 2 kilos of silk, pure AAA grade mulberry silk.
What's wrong with the others? Go on, finish your story. Then,
let's say a lady wanted to buy a nice silk blouse.
Yeah.
And she went into a top retailer like, say, Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
Right? Now, she'd probably pay for a silk blouse about £60. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that silk blouse would weigh about 3 ounces, because silk is light.
Yeah.
Now,
There's 2
do
kilos.
the maths.
That-
2
yeah.
kilos from the official Mulberry company.
In a king size, yeah?
Rob, we farm our own silk.
Ah.
We don't buy it in from somebody else.
So you can
We farm our own
you have control
silk.
over the quality.
We have total control of the silk, how we process it. Before the silk is placed into the duvet, obviously, it has to be washed. Simple, you would think. No. We wash it in spring water, which has been filtered. So the silk is pure and soft and gentle when it's placed into the duvet.
Third of the stock gone on the duvets now.
It's absolutely
and
beautiful.
apparently, don't you take it out for dinner as well, and you wine it and dine
Yes,
it, and
wine
make
it.
it feel good about
Shake
itself.
hands with it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Give it a bath and then send
Give
it
it a
off to the
bath
customer.
off the bed.
No, it is the whole process. And again, the official Mulberry Silk manufacturing company are experts in. I mean, they're actually really the geeks and science buds, aren't
Well,
they?
they
They
are, in
know
actual
more
fact.
about bedding than
You know, I've been in business for 67 years. I've mentioned this to you before, Rob, in private, when
Yes.
we've been sitting discussing things in the green room.
Yeah.
The person who makes these duvets has been my friend now for 37, 38 years. He is, without shadow of doubt, one of the most honourable, that's the word, honourable and nicest human beings I've ever met. He takes a pride in what he makes, and he wants the people to be happy when they buy it. So he doesn't cut corners. He doesn't waste, he doesn't buy any inferior fabrics. He insists in the best. And when we run out, and we constantly run out of silk, because we can only get so much. It's not a supply that goes on forever, AAA grade mulberry silk. When we run out, we stop manufacturing. We wait until the next batch is available. So when you're buying this guy that makes this, he knows what he's doing.
But that's also another reason why you couldn't sell this in retail, because they would want a constant supply. And we struggle sometimes. We've had months, on occasions where because silkworms, they're living creatures. They only grow at a certain time, and the same with the mulberry leaves.
To get AAA grade mulberry silk, you have to feed the worm in the white mulberry leaf.
Yeah.
Now, the tree that provides the white mulberry leaf only grows in any commercial quantity in eastern and central China.
Yes, and it's seasonal, right?
So we constantly run out.
Yeah.
They tried to grow mulberry silk in Kew Gardens. James II, I think it was.
Oh.
He planted, I think it was 16,000 mulberry trees, and they all died within a couple of months. You have to have a certain humidity and climate to get the white mulberry leaf.
Who does that? So, especially in this day and age, where everything's a quick fix and everything's, as cheap as chips, I mean, when you think about the food we eat, the reason we're all getting sick and getting fat is because what's in the food, it's great for being, shelf stable for months, and it's been made, for very, very low cost, so it's wonderfully profitable for the people selling it, but it's killing us. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to get on my my soapbox about that, but it's so rare these days to find a company that's got some actual ethics.
The man
who stops manufacturing because they've run out of the best ingredients these days?
Product, Rob,
nobody does.
I'm not exaggerating. I can assure you, he takes a pride in his product, and he's been proven to be right. Because starting, as I mentioned earlier in the show, he lives in Vancouver, from a tiny little office in Vancouver, 36 years ago, he now exports all over the world. And that's been achieved by selling quality. Simple as that.
And I love quality. Do you sell duvet covers for the Mulberry Silk Duvets? From an anonymous emailer. They're coming. They won't be silk, though, because silk's too slippery. You'll slide off the bed. But there are some
batch,
coming,
hopefully, we have a batch of containers arriving in 6 weeks' time, and they'll be in that.
Good. I look forward to that. Really,
incidentally,
really nice too. Yeah.
Yeah, the quality of the covers we have made sky high.
They're Egyptian cotton, aren't
Yes.
they? And they match the colours of the pillowcases.
You might wonder why we don't make a silk top cover. When we first started manufacturing all those years ago, we did make a silk top cover, but silk is very smooth and it was shifting and slipping on the bed. So we decided, people phoned up, they said, you know, we love your duvets, but they're moving.
And we keep falling out of bed.
And they keep falling off the edge of the bed. So we decided to go with cotton.
Smooth as silk, right? Stu, hi Stu, how are you? Says, new pillow and case purchase tonight. But, he says, for nearly 20 years, Mulberry Silk Duvet has been the most amazing duvet ever. It's fab on the sofa on PJ day too.
Thank you very much,
same
Stu.
thing.
That's nice.
Certainly is champagne for the price of nylon.
Nylon.
I know. I mean, it really is. You're in for a treat. But at the end of the day, apart from that, you're going to have that fancy feeling. It is luxury. It is sensual. It makes sleeping a bit more of an experience. At the moment, I moved house and I've ordered some very nice furniture, but it's 3 months. It's going to take 3 months for it to be made. I think I'm about a month and a bit in. So I'm sitting on camping chairs in the front room, and after an evening of that, I can't wait, because the one thing I have got are my beds with my Mulberry Silk duvets, pillows, mattresses, mattress covers, and I've got Egyptian cotton, everything. I can't wait to go up into my bed and
Every
get
single
into it.
person,
I love it.
Rob, every single person in this studio sleeps under Mulberry Silk.
I know.
Whenever I go to a studio when I'm just new in there, maybe a cameraman will buy a pillow.
Do you remember Ian? That first night he met you,
The young lad, yeah.
What, about 20 minutes into the broadcast, and he went and ordered one?
He ordered two, actually.
Oh,
two
did he?
pillows, yeah.
Ah.
And, but maybe a cameraman will buy a pillow and he'll sleep under it. And 3, 4 weeks later, 5, 6 weeks later, everybody's buying the silk because he recommends it. And 40%, I've mentioned this 2 or 3 times this morning, 40% of all the sales we get are repeat sales. Yeah. Because people buy maybe one item, sleep under it, sleep on it. It could be 2 or 3 years later, they buy something else. That's why all of our details are on everything we sell. We want you to know where we are. If you have a complaint, phone us up. We'll refund your money. No arguing. If you want to buy something else from us, phone us up. That's where we are. Yeah. That's on there for a reason. We know the quality. We know the performance levels. You have that to find out. There's one way of finding out. Take the plunge. Buy it. Try it. And if you don't like it, don't keep it. Send it back. Simple.
And I love that, I really do, because it does, you know, there's a saying, isn't there, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And I am so cynical. The joke I always make is I'm so cynical. In fact, I used to be cynical, but I gave up because what's the point?
What's the point?
Right? It has changed I don't sleep very well. When I actually get a period of time where I can sleep. But the job I do now, you know, I work during most of the day, almost every day of the week, behind the scenes, and then I'm on air 3 nights a week. So I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm travelling, you know, 200 miles each way between London and Manchester. I'm spending 20 days of the month away from home in an HMO where I don't even have a sofa. It's just a bed, you know. Thank God it's a Mulberry Silk bed. So I never know my body never knows when to be awake or asleep. If I didn't have Mulberry Silk, I'd be in a box by now.
Here's another thing, Rob, which we haven't mentioned, which I think is relevant. Very often, as people get older, perhaps they're not as strong as they used to be. Maybe they live on their own, their partner, unfortunately, has passed away. People often tell me, I get told off, my wife tells me off all the time. She says, you never mention this, you should mention it. People who live on their own and perhaps are not as strong as they used to be, they can get this duvet because it's not heavy. They can get it into the top cover, one person, with ridiculous ease. Right, that's important.
And you don't even need a duvet cover. If you've got a white colour scheme, or tone, because white's not a colour. Actually, technically, it's all colours. But these are designed, so the Egyptian cotton cover is the cover. Yeah. So you can use it like the Americans would as a comforter, as they call it.
And the other thing, Rob, that's important as well. again, I forget to mention this. I should mention it. I apologize. I get told off for not mentioning this. Because it's light, because it's not heavy, one person can make the bed in the morning in seconds.
Yeah,
it just lies beautifully on the bed. It's not heavy. You're not wrestling with it.
I don't make my bed. Do you know why?
You just sort of
no,
flip
what
it
I do before I leave, if I'm in Warrington, wherever I'm leaving, I'll make it when I leave. There was, I think it was a soldier who calculated how much time you waste making your bed every day.
Come on, tell me.
I don't know what.
You know, I love statistics.
Well, I don't know what the exact statistic was. But it was so much time that he vowed he would never ever make his bed again. So I just get up and I leave it.
I love statistics.
Yeah,
it's fascinating. It was
Did you know that 84% of statistics are rubbish?
Rubbish. Rob, it was interesting during our show tonight when I mentioned 10 million pillows going. That gentleman phoned up. And he had checked and found out I was correct.
Yeah.
10 million pillows go into the dustbin every year into landfill.
Yeah. How many duvets?
5 million.
I mean, the thought of, even at this size, that, you know, not that they'd be throwing away their mulberry silk, but you think how big, even a standard...
Rob, that's every single year. Over 100 million...
It worries me, this.
100 million pounds are spent by the British public every year buying cheap, nasty, horrible pillows.
Let me ask you something, actually. This is a bit of a non sequitur, but I'm interested. Just mind you, talk amongst yourselves for a moment. If and when a mulberry silk pillow and duvet sort of reaches the end of its useful life, and I mean, I know we're talking decades potentially, and if it were thrown away, it would presumably go into landfill. But I can't imagine that cotton and silk, they're not leaching chemicals or anything like that. Do they degrade? What's the situation? Do you know?
Rob, we do get the odd pillow returned.
Yeah.
Right. The Bedding Association reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, the percentage that would be returned could be as high as 60 or 65%.
Yeah, I believe it.
And that's the Bedding Association. They're clever people, they're knowledgeable, they know what they're talking about. We started selling this pillow in Britain around about 6 years ago. In the first 13 months, we sold 86,000 pillows. We got 19 returned out of 86,000. Now, when we do get the odd one returned, or the odd duvet, we have to destroy it.
Yeah.
And we have an incinerator.
Okay.
And we burn it.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't want to put it in landfill.
I suppose they'd burn just fine, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd burn just fine.
Yeah.
Because when you buy a pillow, say in a supermarket, 2 for £10, you buy it, you try and take them back if you don't like them.
Yeah.
They point blank say no, you can't have your money back. They quote the Health and Hygiene Act. It's been slept on.
Yep.
You can't give them to charity. They don't want them. The Salvation Army won't take them. Cat and dog homes, they used to take them and make dog bags out of them. Now they won't take them because there's too many of them. 10 million people don't know what to do with their pillows. They haven't got an incinerator.
Yeah. So what would be your advice if it ever got to the point 30 years from now that you felt you were going to throw it away and get a new one?
Burn
what
it.
would just burn it?
Yeah.
Why not like a bonfire or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to give chemicals.
Silk is the second strongest natural fibre in the world, Rob.
Yeah.
We estimate our duvet will last you the best part of your natural life.
Oh no, I know. I'm not. I mean, listen. I can't ever foresee a situation where you do it.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I didn't say it was a non sequitur.
No.
It might have been also something you might classify as a stupid question.
No, far from it.
No.
It's just that, when you talk about mulberry silk, when you talk about silk, everybody knows, I think everybody knows, silk is special. And what we are offering you is the best silk you can possibly get, wrapped up in Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. And I think most people know Egyptian cotton is special. We're using long-fibre Egyptian cotton. So basically, you've got the two most famous fabrics in the world, Egyptian cotton, mulberry silk, together in one top quality product. There's every chance that product, which is an offer this morning, is better than what you're currently sleeping under. All we're asking you to do is try it. And if you don't like it, send it back.
We have actually at the perfect time of the show. So Emma has just emailed in. Emma, thank you very much indeed for your message. to answer your question, she's asking about the worms. The most delicate way I can put this is when you buy a steak, the cow didn't make it. Right. Hope that answers your question.
Rob, I'll answer the lady's question honestly. The worms, we place the cocoon with the worm in tepid water, and the worm is euthanized humanely.
Yes, exactly.
There's no way we can get silk
No.
without euthanizing the worm.
No.
And what Rob says is correct.
Yeah.
You know, when you buy a steak, the cow didn't make it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you put it nicer than I did.
Yeah.
But Ray, as always,
thank you, Rob.
and thank you, Emma, for your email. And if that affects your decision, but we completely understand. You've got to do what is right for you. I really appreciate the shows that we do together,
Thank you.
Ray.
So do I, Rob. I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
And tonight has been a lovely show, and I just hope Caroline sobers up before tomorrow.
So do I. I'm going to check her handbag next time she comes in the building, because you should have seen the bottle sticking out the top of it.
She's a nice lady. We don't
Just
mind us. You don't mind us pulling your leg, Caroline.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much to you for watching. I'm driving back to London now through the night. I'll see you again next Thursday, I think it is. Bye.